Whoa there, Buster. That's a flag on the play. 5-yard penalty. Unnecessary frowning. Let's try and fix that attitude now, shall we? There is a game that just came out a few days ago that's got everyone smiling, it seems, to the tune of over 550,000 concurrent players at its peak. Slay the Spire 2. I've pumped about 12 hours directly into the ass of this game, and I've only just now scratched the surface. It is content rich, so much meat on the bones, and for only $22, I think it is. Let me double check. We have technology right at my fingertips. I can't remember if it's $22 or $25. And it looks like it is $25, which I think is a great deal because for the price of a single big arch burger from McDonald's, you can instead get well north of 12 hours worth of content. In 12 hours, I have only just now completed a run with the 5 main characters: Ironclad, Silent, Regent, Necrobinder, and Defect. So 12 hours and I have completed one run with each of these 5 characters, so I've completed 5 total runs in 12 hours, which is fucking nothing. That's basically completing the tutorial for each of these characters. Like, I'm through the introduction on each of these characters, more or less. I'm only just now getting to my Ascensions, which, if you're not familiar with Slay the Spire, Ascension is what you do after you complete your first base run, going through the 3 acts. There is so much content. So I think it's a great price point for how much content you get. And I know I've kind of already whole hog, both cheeks out, dove into like my impressions of the game thus far. It's very positive. I think the game is extraordinary. And that's probably no surprise to any of you that follow my gaming channel, which all of you should be following the gaming channel, Moist Critical Gaming. I've got numerous videos up for Slay the Spire 2. I am loving it. So I wanted to give you my review of the game after 12 hours so far, because a lot of people are seeing the headlines about how popular this game is and how much it's been, going ballistic out there, and wondering, well, is the game good? Does it live up to the hype? And I'm here to tell you that, yes, I think it does live up to the hype. I really think this is something very special. If you played the first Slay the Spire, you know exactly what you're going to be getting in Slay the Spire 2, but everything is improved. The visuals, I also really like the new characters. Regent and Necrobinder, I think, are extremely fun with very, very cool mechanics. A lot of the cards have been improved. I think they've done a great job with Slay the Spire 2 across the board. There's nothing in here I think was like fumbled or lessened. I think everything has only been heightened and has been made even better. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with Slay the Spire, I'll go ahead and lay the groundwork here, the foundation here, hit you with the foreplay. It is a deck-building roguelike game, which I know in the current landscape are a dime a dozen. You can go on Steam right now and dumpster dive, finding 40 of those bitches released over the last 2 weeks. Roguelikes have become the new wave, the new hotness, and I know everything is ham-fisting roguelike mechanics into everything. But Slay the Spire is like the OG deck-building roguelike that blew up many moons ago, and the sequel, I think they carry that momentum and show why they're still like the best in the business when it comes to this genre. I really think they nail the formula, and there's just no other game I think that does it this well. I think Slay the Spire is to deck-building games what boobies are to happiness. The GOAT. Now, if you know nothing about deck-building games, deck-building roguelikes or anything, I'll just break it down to the bare bones. You will choose a character, and each character plays vastly different from one another. They have access to different cards, and they utilize different mechanics. And they also have a different starting relic, and relics are something that you collect throughout your runs to try and juice your shit in order to gear your build the way you'd like it to go, or, all kinds of different things. There are just so many different variations. There are so many different cards and combinations and strategies. It is just endlessly replayable. You go through Act 1, 2, and 3, killing a bunch of enemies, which will give you other cards. You'll have potions that you can utilize in the middle of combat. You'll get relics, and you will always be changing your build around. No runs ever really play the same, even if you try and do like the same thing. For example, if you're playing Necrobinder and you want to laser focus on Doom, you will never have like the same Doom run every single time because the relics will always change. The cards you get will always change. The enemies you encounter will change. It's just so fucking fun. There is just endless depth to this game, and I can easily see this being like hundreds of hours to like really min-max everything and just fully fucking complete everything this game has to offer. In Slay the Spire 1, A20, Ascension 20 was like the max challenge there. I'm not deep enough into Slay the Spire 2 to know if that's still the case here. Maybe there's even more, I'm not sure. I'm trying to do most of this blind because I think it's much more enjoyable to go in there and like fully just have things, you know, fucking golden shower on top of you as fresh as they can be. So I've been really enjoying like learning everything through trial and error, discovering things. It's been so fun, and I am only just now at like the very tippity top of the surface here of how much content this game has. I'm playing it daily for multiple hours a day. It's so good. So I truly do think Slay the Spire 2 lives up to the hype. I know this was many years in the making. It was worth the wait. $25 for this much content, I think, is a great price point. I love to see things like that. I know I glazed and commended Hollow Knight Silksong for something very similar, where you get so many hours of content for a low price compared to like AAA games, where you'll pay like 70 or, Lord help us, God forbid, but unfortunately even $80 sometimes for like a 6-hour game or something, right? Like, I think this is just so refreshing. It's super nice, and also very simple. It's a game you can enjoy with your friends. Slay the Spire 2 has multiplayer. I just tried it for the first time last night with my buddy Ryan, but it has, I think, 4-player co-op. So you can have a run with your friends too, and they scale it up so that way it's not just like a full-blown fucking steamroll. Like, there is a challenge to it. Granted, of course, since there's more of you, there is more flexibility, so you probably will have an easier time, like if you're struggling by playing solo. I know a lot of new players have found it kind of punishing, which it is, and I appreciate that. I think it's a good thing. It doesn't hold your hand and put the training wheels on or clobber you with sock'em boppers. It's giving you the raw, knuckle sandwich, and I think that's wonderful, and it will enable you to get better over time as you keep doing runs and figuring out better synergies and what cards work for what builds. It is just a game that I think is just a joy, start to finish. And like I said, the multiplayer is like a really nice cherry on top, because playing with friends is a lot of fun. I had a great time playing with Ryan, and I imagine it's even better playing it in a fucking 4-stack. I bet that goes ballistic. I don't have any real complaints. Like, there's nothing in the game that I was like disappointed by. I will say that there are some cards in here that are utterly useless, just pure poop ass. Like, you will never take them in a run, and if you do, you will feel like an idiot for it. There are just some genuinely awful, terrible cards in here that I think could use a little, sprucing up, a little tuning on. But for the most part, I think they do a good job with all of the cards having a place and a role to serve and a function. Some cards obviously are much better than others, but yeah, that's always going to be the case. There's always going to be some cards that need a little tweaking, balancing, but I think just off rip here, they've done a really good job balancing things. Silent, I believe, is probably the strongest character in the game right now, but even then, I don't really think it's busted. Like, I don't think there's anything about Silent that makes it just like a complete cakewalk every single time. Like, you still need to activate neurons. It doesn't play itself. So, like, I have no problem with that being like the best character right now, and I still think it's in a good state overall in terms of balance. So I'm very happy with Slay the Spire 2. I'm really happy to see that it's doing so well right now. Over 500,000 concurrent players at peak is amazing. That's an incredible accomplishment, and I'm glad to see it holding so strong. Still over 200,000 players every single day. That's great. Hats off to the team. They knocked it out of the park. I just wanted to give you this little review as I continue to play through it, and of course post more of my runs on the Moist Critical Gaming channel. And really, that's about it. So, yeah. AI ads. It's something I've talked about a little bit. A couple months ago, even made a video on the AI dog ads that everyone was getting served. We ended up ordering a couple. Of course, didn't resemble anything even close to what the ads were claiming, because obviously it was never going to. The ads were fake. And unsurprisingly, the problem has only gotten worse. I am now inundated with AI ads, and it's been basically sweeping through like a plague. AI ads are the new wave, usually to sell products that are just dropshipped AliExpress garbage. but they use AI ads to try and sell the consumer on a fantasy that just isn't real. A big one going on right now is Pandy. That's become like the new AI dog. It's an AI plush panda, a pocket panda basically. There's a YouTuber who just made a video covering the whole thing. I'll just go ahead and play a couple clips from that. But this isn't the main one I want to focus on. This is just another example of it.
You know the one looks like a cute little panda moving like a real animal, but it's actually a robot. So you don't have to feed it, clean up after it, or worry about it. And hey, if it's on Facebook and YouTube, it must be legit, right? The photos of the toy look different from the one in the ad. Scroll further, and they have celebrity posts from Twitter, but they're just static images, no links to actual accounts. And if you reverse image search them, surprise, they show up on other scammy toy websites selling the exact same thing under different names. Advanced AI Plush for $29.99, and if you take one of the more realistic images and run it through an image search, you can find the exact same plush on AliExpress for anywhere from $1 to $10.
This is the new big scam. This is the hotness, the meta. They take a very cheap dog shit product from AliExpress or wherever else, and then they make an AI commercial for it where it has all of this footage that obviously isn't real and the toy doesn't actually do, but it's convincing enough to some people that aren't paying them enough attention or just don't know AI commercials exist. These have been very effective, pretty successful from everything I've been able to tell. Because just imagine, you're like in your late 60s, you're scrolling Facebook, reading about 5G blasting your nutsack with alien juices, but then all of a sudden the Pandy ad plays, you're like, oh, that's cute, maybe my grandkids would like it. Then they make a purchase, and then what shows up is basically the shit that you get at the kiosks in the mall in the late 90s. It's nothing impressive, but it's very smart, deceptive marketing tactics, and they are everywhere. It doesn't seem like there's like a real vetting process for the advertisements that play on most major websites, so they are getting swarmed by AI ads right now. And the one that Matt just put on my radar is one called Baker's Semen Booster or something like that. Semen X, fucking Weapon X of semen enhancement. And their big marketing push right now is AI generated ads for it. Also, there's like 5 different websites that get tied to it somehow. I've been all over the place. And when Matt told me about it today and showed me one of the ads, I came home and immediately got served one as well. So, like, I must have been listening. Fucking Baker's, they've tapped into the mainframe here. But yeah, it's a pill that improves your seed volume as well as a flavor booster. So they cooked up the Manhattan Project of nut, and they're making AI pushes. Let me go ahead and show you one. Apparently this is the one that's been running all over Reddit.
Bakers.
Ad's so good I ordered 12 bottles. I was losing money not spending it on Baker's Semen Booster. It's just such a baffling ad. So it's AI women here, as well as an AI voiceover that just says, Baker's, and then like some moaning. But like the sound effects that they have playing, which I guess are supposed to be like dripping sperm, it just sounds like piss. Like it's just actual pee-pee droplets. It like that's not, like that doesn't, you don't hear that sound and immediately think of like semen. You hear that and you think someone is taking a leak. But maybe that's the whole thing. Like you order Baker's and it turns your semen into piss. Like Jesus turning water to wine. This right here is the ad that's playing on a bunch of YouTube videos. It's good, better, Baker's. And it's an AI image of a woman who's wearing more and more pearl necklaces as it approaches Baker. And then you go to one of their websites, and it's a bunch of mumbo-jumbo on here, and then towards the bottom they start once again leaning on AI to generate images and then just slap Bakers on top of it. So it's very clear that their whole marketing is just using AI to somehow deceive people into buying the semen and flavor booster for their nut. Then on another one of their sites, it's all more AI images, but this time it's all baking and frosting related, which is a very subtle wink and nod to the consumer. This section actually had me giggle right here, though, the Baker's flavor boost. It then goes in about, like, pineapple juice and how, like, the Baker's formula adds pineapple stem extract to enhance your flavor. It's just so shameless. It's so unbelievably shameless. All their Amazon listings are also super suspicious. There's no reviews on any of them, and all of them also have AI-generated images. So this, entire section is nothing but images like this. Now, I have no idea what's actually in these pills. It could be anything. You could be buying fucking plutonium tablets or something. I have no idea. This shit could be raw crude oil in there. I don't know. All I know is that whatever is in there, I can promise you, the AI ads are not convincing me it's something worth purchasing. If I see an AI advertisement for a product, the immediate assumption, and it is the correct assumption to make, is that the product is fraudulent, it is a scam, and it is somewhat dangerous. It's gotta be. Because why else would you be making fake advertisements for it? We're seeing this becoming more and more common. It's been big with toys, like with the AI dog and the panda and stuff, and I think the reason is obvious because it targets a very huge market, which is kids, as well as parents that are maybe shopping for their kids. So if this floats across there, they're likely to see this and be like, wow, that's really impressive and it's really cheap for that kind of tech. I'll buy it. Meanwhile, what they're actually buying is like a $1 Alibaba drop-shipped piece of garbage. It's very, very effective. And now it's not just exclusive to toys. Now it's infiltrated supplements and things trying to parade themselves around as health, supplements and benefits, that kind of thing, using fake people, fake advertisement, all AI generated in order to try and sell you on it being something that you should buy for your own health. It is very concerning, this direction that it's all heading. I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna be real brave. I think AI marketing should be illegal. I think it is deceptive and fraudulent by its very nature because it's not real. If your product can do all the things your AI ad is claiming, it shouldn't need AI to show it doing those things. It should be able to do them in the real world, real life, and you should be able to put that in your ad, the real thing, not some AI rendition of it. As with the dog, as with the panda, the actual product you buy does not do any of those things that the ad is showing it doing. Thus, it is, by its textbook definition, a misleading ad. It is scamming you. I really think there needs to be a crackdown on AI advertising. It's a very concerning direction that all of this is heading. So, with this Baker's Turbo Wumbo Volume Booster and Flavor Enhancer, having AI ads to show you these things is so weird. It's just so fucking peculiar. Again, it makes me not trust it. I don't know anything about this brand or anything. I think it's weird that they have multiple different websites, all in slightly different variations, but all of which use AI on there. I think that's very odd, and I think them using AI to try and sell you on it should be something that raises big red flags as this not being a trustworthy brand. Anyway, just wanted to yap about this a little bit. That's it. Yep. I'm sure you can't tell just by looking at me because I'm being very brave about it, but I am currently suffering from a severe itch in my mid-back. And it's in this unfortunate position where no matter how hard I try, I just can't quite get after it. I've been desperately trying to scratch it, and I know we're not animals, so we have tools, and I've been trying to utilize one of them, the longest object I have around me, but even then, this pin doesn't quite get to where I need it to, so I can't do it. If only there was some drunk 56-year-old woman that could hit me with her car while I'm walking down the sidewalk. Then maybe I'd stop thinking about this fucking itch. And luckily, I know just the woman for the job.
This lady's crazy.
It's a terrifying video. A youngster riding his dirt bike, apparently targeted by a driver.
Oh my God!
The woman behind the wheel seems determined to run him over.
Oh my God!
I was scared for my son's life.
That's certified Dukes of Hazzard type shit right there. That lady's been playing a little too much GTA Online. So this is a 56-year-old woman who was hitting the sauce a bit hard. She was reportedly intoxicated at the time of this encounter and says she doesn't even remember doing this, where she literally fucking pulled that shit around, driving on the sidewalk, looking to just splatter this kid like it's Halo 3. Just, she's dropping that lead foot, she's going pedal to the metal, just trying to run this kid over, all because, who knows? There is No one has any fucking clue because there wasn't like an argument or anything. It's not like this kid fucking, canned off of her vehicle there or anything, or gave her the finger or anything. There was nothing that led up to this. He was just minding his own business, practicing some tricks, and she snapped. She lost it, went just fucking ballistic here and decided to go on like a murderous rampage, just driving up on the sidewalk, running him down.
Jennifer Taylor is the boy's mom. She says 13-year-old Bryson was riding his dirt bike with friends in their suburban neighborhood outside Spokane, Washington, when a lady driving by lost it.
She just spotted him and she was his next target and turned the wheel and came after him. There was no words exchanged. Nothing was done.
Do you have any idea what her motivation might have been?
The police said that she was intoxicated and that just prior to all of this, she had tried to break into a home. And apparently after all of this, she went back to that home and broke in again. And that's where they found her.
What an interesting afternoon she had there, huh? Hit the brewskis a little hard, a little butt chugging to the natty lights. Next thing you know, you're trying to break into a house, then trying to run some child over in your vehicle, then you're going back to that house trying to break in again, and they throw you in cuffs. That's a full day right there. What an adventure. Also, in all of the coverage I've seen of this, every video has a title like this where it's video allegedly shows woman driving up on sidewalk trying to hit a child with her car, or this Inside Edition title, video appears to show this woman trying to run a child over with her car on the sidewalk. Like, I understand, like, they're just covering their own ass legally, but what do you mean it appears to show that? That's what happened. There's no wiggle room that this is just like some baseless allegation. You can watch it unfold. It's not AI. They arrested the woman. She even admitted to the drinking and driving, being intoxicated behind the wheel, and says that her memory's a little foggy on that whole trying to run over a child on his dirt bike thing. She probably views that as a bunch of hoopla because she can't remember it. Like, oh no, I may have been drinking and driving, but no, that's very unlike me. I would never do something like that. And since I don't remember it, you can't punish me for it. Checkmate.
According to the police report, she denied drinking alcohol or consuming any drugs, but then changed her story and admitted to drinking alcohol. While trying to put her in the back of a patrol car, she resisted and even tried to kick a deputy. The woman has been charged with criminal trespass, DUI, and assault. She lives in the neighborhood where today lots of people want her punished severely.
Yeah, it sounds reasonable to me. She should be punished severely. She tried to use her car like a fucking torpedo. She was a heat-seeking missile trying to hunt down a child on his dirt bike for no reason. Not that there'd ever be a reason for it. Like, even if the kid did just start shooting spitballs at her car windshield or something, that still wouldn't be an excuse or anything. But this was literally just completely unprovoked across the board. It was a kid just riding his dirt bike in her neighborhood, and she lost her mind. She's off her gourd. She should absolutely be punished severely. I don't know why they just already released her back out there in the middle of all this. She's a danger. She is a menace. So yeah, the neighbors are absolutely right to be fearful of her and demanding that there should be severe consequences for what she did here. This isn't some innocent whoopsie-daisy moment here. Oh, come on, guys. Who gave Ruth access to the Tito's? You know what happens when she drinks. She can't help but get in her vehicle and try and run over children. Ah, God. She's so quirky, oh boy. And I haven't even begun to scratch the surface of the rest of her shenanigans from that afternoon of trying to break into homes twice. Like, Jiminy Christmas, she sounds like a loose cannon. So apparently, she was telling deputies that she had taken her dog for a ride and was looking for other dogs to socialize with, and said she stopped after noticing dogs in a fenced yard and denied knowing the homeowner or attempting to enter the home. And then also told the deputies she didn't remember the earlier incident of trying to run over that child on the dirt bike. She also initially denied consuming drugs or alcohol, but then later sang a different tune. So her explanation is, no, you see, I was taking my dog for a ride. We were, cruising around looking for other pooches to socialize my pup with. And I saw some dogs in a fenced-in yard, so I had to stop. That's normal behavior, right? That totally makes sense for what I'm doing out here. And this supposed possible burglaries. Just a misunderstanding. So she was booked on charges of first-degree attempted assault, DUI, first-degree criminal trespass, and then at her court appearance the next day, the Superior Court Commissioner of Spokane County ordered her release on her own recognizance, and she was released without posting bond. I just don't understand why this is so commonplace. I really don't. She is dangerous. She attempted to run over a child while blackout drunk behind the wheel of her vehicle. What the fuck?
Horrifying. She's clearly using her vehicle to attack a child, goes this social media comment. Unbelievable. She tried to assault a child with a vehicle, goes another.
You saw that video.
Yeah,
It's frightening.
very frightening.
She could have run him over. She could have killed him. Mm-hmm. Where do you think she should be right now?
I think she should be in jail, off the streets, not able to hurt anyone else.
Oh my God!
I agree with that sentiment 100%. She should be in the slammer. I don't think this is being taken seriously enough. Like, even the people that are commenting saying that she was attempting to assault the child with her vehicle, I would go a step further. I think this is just blatant attempted murder. Going out of her way, driving down the sidewalk, chasing this child in her car, just going, like, barreling down the sidewalk to try and run this kid over. That, to me, feels like she is trying to kill this kid. And again, it is entirely random. Comes out of nowhere. There was nothing that led up to it. She just snapped because she's drunk and lost her fucking mind, I guess. She is not safe to be around in any capacity whatsoever. Anyway, I saw this, had to yap about it, fucking crazy stuff. The woman hasn't been, like, identified or anything, but she is a 56-year-old woman who apparently even just lives in that area and just decided randomly, I'm gonna try and hit this child with my car. And thus she did. Come hell or high water, she was going to try and accomplish that task. Luckily, she was unsuccessful. Luckily, the kid was okay. But yeah, I do think she should be in jail right now, not back out there on the streets. Anyway, that's about it. See ya.
Initiating moisture.
2019 has been an outstanding year for movies, and that continues with Knives Out being pretty fucking great, which is pretty fucking surprising considered it's directed by Rian Johnson, the man responsible for nearly single-handedly destroying the Star Wars cinematic universe with The Last Jedi. To this day, that is the biggest regret on the Moist Meter. Our biggest blemish is giving Star Wars The Last Jedi a 70, or whatever we gave it. It was far too high. Obviously, that prestige is not his burden to shoulder alone. It was a team effort, a collaboration to make that fucking catastrophe of a movie. It was a movie for Star Wars fans made by people who hated Star Wars, it seemed like. Anyway, what I'm saying is The Last Jedi, stinker. Knives Out, banger. This movie is a great murder mystery, whodunit, and neither one of those genres really do it any favors, doesn't do it any justice, because it's more than that. It's a very strong character piece. The performances from all the actors and actresses here are so strong. They make these characters so compelling. They're so well written, and I wanted to see more of them. One of my big complaints is that some of the characters you very rarely see or hear from. They're there occasionally, but not very often. I just wanted more of the characters because I thought they were all so goddamn good. It's a long movie, and I wanted more of it just to hang out with the characters and see them interact some more. Also, the humor in this movie is really clever. Everything in this movie, the whole plot structure, even the pacing, down to even the simplest of jokes, is all very well constructed. I was really impressed with the movie. The plot is really great. It goes off, what you would expect from a murder mystery, like a fucking board game of Clue. Yeah, man commits suicide, famous author, and now everyone in the family is a suspect and everyone around is a suspect, and they all have their own backstories, their own possible motives. It's just fucking great. It was a really fun movie from start to finish. Daniel Craig's character I really liked, but to be honest, I wasn't overly impressed with him as a detective until the very end, which I guess was probably the point, but I enjoyed him throughout. I just thought he didn't really showcase why he's the best in the world until the very end. I was expecting him to come in here like L from Death Note and have anime fans creaming their pants by the second episode with his genius and goofy writing, but I guess it's good they didn't do that and make him more of like a slow burn genius. And it's not like he comes in here all limp-dicked and a loser or anything. He immediately comes in, detects some lies, and starts putting together pieces of a puzzle and throwing together a narrative. So he did come in fine about some specifics without spoiling anything, so I'm just going to avoid that entirely. but there is a pretty glaring plot hole, in my opinion, that takes place pretty early on. But aside from that, I can see a lot of people being put off by this movie's main difference from the rest in its genre. In whodunits, the main thing is challenging the audience to come up with their own conclusions as to who killed the person or the people and why, and it feeds you a bunch of information throughout, and you're constantly building a narrative in your head. They did it. That's the man jerking off in the bathroom, and he's the one that did it. And it's the audience members that are kind of playing along in this game. It's very interactive. This movie doesn't really do that. This movie is very willing to share with you the most important parts of the whodunits very early on in the movie. And it's hard to talk about exactly what it does without spoiling it, but for a lot of people, the challenge isn't going to be getting fed all this information and coming up with how it all transpired. It's more a matter of seeing how it all played out, why it's happening, and exactly what it leads to, the overarching plot. It's hard to talk about without spoilers, but there is a main difference between this movie and most other whodunits that I can see people being a little put off by. But I very much enjoyed it, and I thought it made it a lot more fun in the genre. Plugging this into the moist meter, I'm giving Knives Out a fat 90%. I think it's a great movie start to finish. I enjoyed it, and I'd recommend it. And that's it. So yeah. Do you see it? Look closely in the palm of my hand. To the untrained eye, it may appear empty, but you have to use your third eye to see the truth. What lays before you in the palm of my hand, my little greasy bare paws, are the Epstein files. Nothing. It's imaginary, because this administration still refuses to actually comply with the law. Even when they did release like their couple of batches of Epstein files, they also didn't comply with the law because they redacted names that weren't victims, which has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. And now it's been, a month past deadline, and they are still kicking the can down the road. And now, like a bucking bronco, they're putting up a real fight where now the DOJ is basically saying in their most recent filing that no court can order them to release these Epstein files. They can't force the release. They're basically gloating that they're kind of above the law, is the impression I get from reading through this. Now, a lot of it's legalese, so a bit of it's a bit above my pay grade, but from everything I've read from the experts who have went through this filing, this is the DOJ once again refusing to cooperate and is now just kind of outright saying that no one can really force them to do this. It's fucking sickening. What is supposed to be the most transparent administration in American history seems to have a real issue with transparency when it comes to the Epstein files for some fucking reason. Really makes you think, doesn't it? And speaking of thinking, I want to turn my attention to someone who hasn't had a thought in years. Pam Bondi. She farted out a super strong statement on Twitter that's no nonsense. A reminder to all those in Minnesota, no one is above the law. Mic drop moment. Literal chills. Scam Bondi here is alting. She's really laying it all on the table. But, let's be honest here, Pam. That's not exactly true now, is it? Because there are clearly people who are above the law. It's anyone that's associated with Jeffrey Epstein and the client list. Really, Pamela, it kind of makes me wonder if this could be an actual defense strategy people could employ. You know, like just claiming that they're on the Jeffrey Epstein client list. I wonder if that would just give them full immunity. Because I imagine it'd be like activating God mode in a video game, because this administration, they won't pursue shit if that's the case. So saying that you're on the Jeffrey Epstein client list, that's like Harry Potter putting on the invisibility cloak. Or Bilbo Baggins putting on the fucking One Ring. Just vanish out of this administration's eyes. But not only that, not only do you go invisible, they will jump on a live fucking grenade and do everything in their power to protect you. So, I don't know, I feel like that Ford worker that called Trump a pedophile protector was really onto something there, because there's a lot of pedophile protecting going on every single fucking day from this administration. How else can you possibly explain their reluctance to release the Epstein files and how hard they fight to stop it from coming? And since this administration won't do it, then we have to rely on some real heroes amongst us. These fucking clowns, these goddamn freaks that were given the Epstein Phase 1 binders. These online influencers were apparently holding the Epstein files, smiling and giddy, posing like it's the goddamn prom photos with the Epstein files, and since then, crickets. Why don't you guys release the files? You got the binders, right? Since the government won't be transparent, why don't you guys do it? You're supposed to be like fighting for the American people and shit, right? That's what you pretend to do online. You had the Epstein files, apparently. Why don't you just put it out there? It's just food for thought. I don't know. Now, of course, you'd have to be on the crack pipe to think any of those frauds actually got the Epstein files. I bet in those binders was just pictures of Trump's butthole just goat-seeing or something. They clearly didn't get anything, and they are clearly just staying silent about all of this. I haven't seen any of them come forward with their binders since then, so I'm led to believe that they didn't actually get anything at all, and this was just a photo shoot. That's all. Nothing else. Now, back to the main topic here with the most recent filing where the DOJ is outright taking a victory lap about how untouchable they are and how they're really just not able to be forced to release the Epstein files. Let's dive into what's happened here, the most recent news. Yesterday, the DOJ moved to block the appointment of an independent monitor or special master to oversee the release of Epstein-related records in the Maxwell case, arguing that no federal court has the authority to compel such disclosures. It's 6 pages, and you can look at it yourself if you want to really get into the nitty-gritty of it, which I honestly do recommend because there are some eyebrow-raising statements in there. In a nutshell, though, they are trying every trick in the book to weasel their way out of actually having to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. They're basically arguing that the forced production of the so-called Epstein files amounts to an improper attempt to reopen a concluded criminal case and to create a form of judicial oversight that Congress itself did not authorize. There's a lot to digest in there in only 6 pages. They really give you a lot to fucking suck on, and they're not exactly subtle about it. There's even mentions of the representatives that have led for the passage of this Epstein Files Transparency Act, where they're calling into question, like, if they even had, like, the gusto to do so. At least that's how it reads to me, where they're questioning the standing that they have in order to even do something like this. In the actual filing, it really seems like they just started pissing on them as, like, saying they're not big enough to do this. Like, it felt like the actual filing was like, these guys are fucking nobodies and don't have the standing for it. But anyway, they asked the court to appoint a special master or independent monitor to compel DOJ compliance with the act, which the DOJ flatly opposes. To go a bit further, they argue that even if the court were inclined to entertain the request, it could not do so constitutionally. This is in regards to some of the things from the Epstein Transparency Act, and they assert that the representatives here they haven't suffered a concrete, particularized injury, and the Epstein Files Transparency Act does not create an individual right to obtain information, unlike the Freedom of Information Act, nor does the act authorize lawmakers or anyone else to sue the DOJ for alleged non-compliance. When I read that, I let out an involuntary noise of disgust, because that's just being very blatant and open about it. Like, yeah, if we don't comply, you can't do anything about it, dork, you fucking dweebs. Go kick rocks, pussy. If we don't comply, you can't sue us or anything. To harken back to Scam Bondi, it really does feel like there are some people above the law. I'm gonna be honest with you. Despite what your tweet is boldly stating, I do think there are some people above the law, Pam, and they might be right under your nose. Again, I'm kind of jumping around here. I recommend reading the whole thing, but in closing, prosecutors maintain that the act provides no cause of action at all. Where Congress has not explicitly authorized judicial enforcement, federal courts are barred from inventing one. As the DOJ puts it, courts cannot reach out to award remedies where neither the Constitution nor a statute authorize them. In short, the government's filing makes clear that absent new legislation explicitly authorizing court enforcement, the DOJ believes no court can force it to produce the Epstein files, regardless of public pressure or congressional intent. Real quick, to briefly tie this back to good old Scam Bondi, since she wants to bring up Minnesota, there's this big talking point about comply. Well, why does compliance only apply to American citizens? Why doesn't it apply to the DOJ as well, who is not complying with the law? They are also supposed to be governed by the law too. According to Pam, no one's above the law, so why aren't they complying with it? They have been routinely violating the protocol set in the law with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. They are not complying with it, and in this most recent filing, they are even openly saying, if we don't comply with it, you can't sue us or anything. They are even saying in their own statement about non-compliance, why would they even be teasing that notion of non-compliance? Why won't they just comply? Why are the administrative authorities not talking about the DOJ's reluctance to comply with the law? I don't know, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Pam, it feels like some people are above the law, doesn't it? I don't know, I'm just getting a whiff of that for some reason. Anyway, that's your most recent Epstein Files update. It's not looking like it's ever actually going to lead to anyone getting arrested in regards to the Epstein client list. Who would have seen that coming? Unthinkable that this administration wouldn't be pursuing action against those evil, fucking, heinous villains in the Epstein client list. It's so odd that they wouldn't be transparent in releasing these files. One of the main things Trump ran on was about releasing these Epstein files. So many in his supporter base were very excited to see that happen, and now it's not happening, and they're fighting tooth and nail every step of the way over the last year to prevent this from happening. And now, even though there's an actual act, a law put into place that they're supposed to follow to release them, they're still not doing it, and are now even just saying, yeah, maybe we won't. No courts can really make us do that. And if we don't do that, you can't sue us for it either. I feel like anyone should have a big problem with that. I feel like any sane, sensible person should immediately view this as the biggest possible red fucking flag. And it seems to me that that Ford worker that called Trump a pedophile protector to his face, which elicited a finger and a fuck you from the big man in charge, it really seems like that pedophile protector nomenclature feels accurate for Trump in this administration, based on all available information here for how hard they don't want these Epstein files to come out. It feels like they're doing a lot of pedophile protecting. That's really about it. So yeah. Elon Musk has done it again, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday was the grand unveiling of the new Cybertruck, fresh out of Dexter's laboratory. He made a big live performance showing off the truck, and man, it was fucking wild. Expectations were subverted harder than in Game of Thrones. The design is like nothing I've ever seen before. Let me just show you some clips from the unveiling.
So I present to you the Cybertruck.
Elon had this shit popping off like you were at an EDM rave. This was hype as fuck. I half expected The Undertaker to be coming out of that tunnel instead of the truck. This was like some WWE pyrotechnics display. This is the Super Bowl of truck announcements. I love that even the employees get out of the truck in costume. They have like these long future-looking trench coats on and shit. I have expected them to bust out into a choreographed dance routine to some type of theme song written for the Cybertruck by Skrillex. But that didn't happen, unfortunately. But I love the costuming. It's fucking great. Now, obviously, this whole event has drummed up a lot of attention online, mainly due to the peculiar design of the Cybertruck.
Doesn't look like anything else.
And he's not wrong, the Cybertruck looks like a lot of things, and none of them are a truck. The first thing I thought of when I saw it was Lara Croft's tits from the PlayStation 1 game. It's so goddamn pointy at the top, like you're driving around like a fucking paper sailboat. It just looks so low polygon, like as if you entered into a Halo game, but the Warthog's textures haven't finished rendering, so it's just like this mess of polygons on your screen. I don't know why it's so goddamn pointy. I feel like you'd cut yourself just getting in and out of the vehicle. But to be honest, I actually kind of like how over-the-top goofy this looks. It's like you're driving around the spaceship from the old Atari Space Invaders game. I think there's a certain charm to it, but the rest of the performance here at the unveiling is spectacular, so let's continue.
It's a regular truck door. Really wind up. Nail it.
So this was a demonstration of its armor capabilities in case you find yourself driving through a rough neighborhood of anti-vax moms who start trying to hunt you down with their sledgehammer. Ordinarily on a normal truck door, as you saw, it would dent it, kind of fuck it up a little bit. But if you're driving the Cybertruck through that area, they can't get through that shit with a sledgehammer.
What if we shot it? Let's shoot it.
Whoa, now you've gone too far, Elon. Shooting it with what, a fucking 50 caliber round? Phalanx gun? Railgun? Think it'd probably stand up to all of it. Unfortunately, he doesn't actually shoot it on stage. He doesn't execute it. I have expected him to pull out a Desert Eagle from his back pocket and just blast it, ricocheting the bullet off of the truck and hitting an audience member. If that did happen, though, the audience member would probably consider it an honor to get shot by Elon Musk's Cybertruck. But unfortunately, he just shows video footage of what happens when they did shoot it in testing.
Nothing. Yeah, it's still doing it, I guess. Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
This was to compare the Cybertruck's glass to normal truck glass. The Cybertruck glass could withstand a goddamn space shuttle taking off right in front of it, and to demonstrate that, they're using this very heavy, dense steel ball and dropping it on the normal truck glass, which shattered. Well, not shattered, but it cracked, and using it on the Cybertruck glass where it didn't crack at all. So you had Danny Sexbang going up the ladder and dropping it on it, and you saw it didn't crack or anything. Very impressive stuff, but I would have done it a little differently. If I was in Elon Musk's shoes doing that, I would have had like a Cirque du Soleil juggler juggling those steel balls and then just dropping them one at a time onto the piece of glass. It would have been a really cool performance, and I think it would have added a lot more to the display.
Sure? Yeah. Oh my fucking god. Well, maybe that was a little too hard. It didn't go through. So that's a plus side.
Let's try the right.
Try that one, really? Okay. Sure.
Oh, man.
It didn't go through.
Unfortunately, that man's arm is just too strong. A professional pitcher throwing that steel ball at the glass, it never stood a chance. He could take down a fucking building with that. He's got like a little wrecking ball for an arm, and he's just throwing it at it. Yeah, there was no chance. So unfortunately, the glass cracked quite significantly, which wasn't in the script, but god damn it, Elon Musk's recovery was pretty solid. At least it didn't go through, so that's good. You're being hunted down by a major league pitcher with a steel ball in the Cybertruck may fuck your glass up, but it ain't gonna take you down.
So you can see the truck.
This whole thing was so goddamn hype, I half expected that man to take off the helmet and it's Jeffrey Epstein underneath or something crazy like that, fucking Steve Jobs or something. But no, it's just a normal man. He was driving that ATV that looked like it was a huge paper cut hazard up into the bed to show that it can sustain big weight, stuff like that. And that's pretty much where the truck unveiling ends. I think the truck is super goofy, which makes it cool to me. And yeah, it's... what a design. Elon Musk has done it again, baby. Fuck yeah. See ya.
What's up, everybody? It's Critical. I'm playing Captain Novolin for the Super Nintendo. Let's do this shit. This just in. Aliens have landed on Mount way up thar. They are disguised as sugary junk foods and have been ordered by Blubberman, the leader, to take over the Earth. That is a terrifying plot. And that dude in the TV reminds me of somebody, I just can't put my finger on who. Damn it. The fuck is the person who this shitting is reminding me of? Is it like an elderly Nigel Thornberry? Kinda, I guess. He just looks familiar. They have captured Mayor Gooden of Pineville, who has enough diabetes supplies to last 48 hours. Someone must save him and the world from these evil invaders. Goodness gracious, that sounds like a job for Captain Novolin. This sounds like a job for yours truly, Captain Novolin. What do you know? There we go, how about that? Oh shit! He just walked his ass right off that treadmill. He's faster than the treadmill. You need to check your blood sugar 4 times a day, but you can check it more often if you like. Roger that, Mavis Beacon. What is this contraption? Is this some type of puzzle box? If I solve this, will it reveal the location of some buried treasure? What is this gadget? Alright, let's work this out logically here. Let's have each letter of glucose represent a different color on the color spectrum. Now let's slide the Schrodinger's cat paradox into the equation and we get... bullshit. I have no idea what to do here. Oh, fuck. Oh, alright, I was just hitting A, I guess it worked. Don't forget to take the insulin dose I prescribed. Okie dokie. How do I do this? Usual. Alright. Now what? Let's try A. Oh, there we go. In your breakfast meal plan, you can have peanut butter toast, half a banana, bowl of cereal, glass of milk. For your morning snack, you could have apple crackers. Thank you, Mr. Winslow. I completely forgot I was playing a game. Alright, let's rock and roll. Is that milk an enemy or an ally? Give the captain a blowjob. Looks like an ally. That's an alien. That is a sugary alien. Fuck. I don't know how to dodge it, though. There's the jump button. Alright, I guess I jump over the diabolical donut. Banana in the windowsill, no problem. Awesome. That donut was out for blood. Dancing cereal, alright. Oh shit, sweets, jump, fuck. Alright. There is sentient food here, we've got to be extra cautious. But he is the captain who needs caution. Now fuck, donut. It's a donut, go under it. Oh, donut, no, fuck, oh shit, oh. Captain Novolin has perished. Oh, but he's back and ready for action, alright. Not this shit again, what did I hit? Like A down here somewhere? There we go. Alright, take your insulin, Captain Novolin. We've got to get back to the streets of Tittyville and save it from the alien food invaders. Alright, let's rock and roll. Time to power walk your super heroic ass cheeks through this. You fucking donut. Keep going, Novolin. You fucking donut! Where is all this food going in such a hurry? You son of a bitch. Wherever this food is going, it is going to get there, no matter what. Oh, there you are, donut. Take that, bitch. Fuck you and your high fructose corn syrup. Oh, you want some of this? You want some of... Oh my goodness, Captain Novolin came to play. What the fuck? That is hogwash. Those were two unstoppable objects that collided. There is no way the cereal should have walked away victorious. Captain Novolin took that on the chin. He should have been the victor. That cereal is gonna pay. And the only payment Captain Novolin accepts is an incinerated cereal box. Oh, this donut thinks he can... Oh, shit. Oh, there we go. That donut can't hang with Captain Novolin. This donut's full of shit. I know there's a cereal box here. Alright, there we go. Airborne. What the fuck? Why does it take Novolin so long to jump? It's like he's setting up an invisible trampoline. Come here, you blood-stained Cheerio. Take that. Yep, there we go. Yeah, you might want to write a letter to your family, let them know the captain walked under you. Ooh, now that's what I call taking to the skies. Captain Nove just ate a cloud. How do you like that, you bodybuilding box of cereal? Revenge is a dish best served to Captain Novolin at a high-quality restaurant. What happened here? What happened? Morning snack. I guess I beat the level? I don't know, fuck. Just one little wimpy donut? Not a problem. Oh, what the fuck is this thing? Oh, shit. It was like the Green Goblin on a soda can. Oh, more cereal. Not even an obstacle. Just look at this speed. Look at this speed! Walking with that type of intensity and speed, Captain Novolin could walk into the past. What the fuck? Do I have to hit A on a different color? No, I guess so. Alright. For lunch, you could have carrots, grapes, tuna sandwich, glass of milk. For an afternoon snack, try pretzels, cheese. Got it. Alright, here we go. It's lunchtime. Otherwise known as the time Captain Novolin eats lunch. Well, this is certainly a spooky abomination. And it fucking cheats too. Excellent. How am I supposed to dodge this? Do I go under it? I can pick up quarters from the ground, I guess. I don't see how that helps me. Alright, let's try again. Yep, there is no way to jump over this hideous boogeyman. That damn overweight Geodude. Perfect. There's a rogue granola bar playing linebacker on the sidewalk. That is the most repulsive carrot I've ever seen. Get out of here, you evil smurf. That carrot looked like it had gone for a swim in someone's asshole. I'm gonna try jumping again, fuck it. Alright, there we go. I jumped over the shit pancake. Not sure why it didn't work the other times, but doesn't matter. Too slow, granola bar. You gotta be faster than that if you want to catch Captain Novolin. Are you seriously shitting? Game over? There's no way you're serious. Who's gonna stop Blubberman? Who's gonna scale Mount way up there? Who is going to expose, then repel, the expertly disguised, sugary alien invaders, if not Captain Novolin? This is the title screen. Why the fuck am I at the title screen? You're telling me there was no checkpoints, or continues. Interesting. Alright, well I'm done playing this. Well, that's the end of this video. Remember to rate the video, comment the video, and subscribe if you want to see videos similar to this one. See ya.
Right after the Stranger Things finale aired, a lot of people were drawing comparisons to Game of Thrones Season 8, and I thought that was pretty overblown. Like, it's not the most amazing finale, it wasn't the greatest final season, but it's nothing even close to the catastrophe, the downright sinful finale to Game of Thrones. See, even just saying its name evokes waste from my body to be expelled. That was gross with Game of Thrones Season 8. Stranger Things Season 5 was just But there is a comparison you can draw when it comes to how the writers are explaining some glaring issues with the finale. In Game of Thrones, there was an infamous clip from one of the goobers saying she just forgot about the Iron Fleet. Danny just forgot about the Iron Fleet. It's up there with somehow Palpatine returned, except it's even worse than that. Just forgot about the Iron Fleet. Oh, right, makes sense. And that's been a meme for a while, and it's just been like a source for spit where people will always quote that as like an example of dog shit writing where there's no explanation or even an iota of justification for it. Oh, we were hitting some whippets and slipped our mind would be more honest than just saying like, no, actually, the character is the one that forgot, and it makes perfect sense if you don't think about it. You want to hit this whippet? Like, it's very silly. In Game of Thrones right now, the Duffers, they're doing something kind of similar. People have had a lot of questions about a lot of really interesting choices, as well as some huge plot holes. Spoilers. Getting into spoilers. This is your warning. Spoiler alarm. Okay, now we're getting into it. The biggest one that a lot of people have been clowning on them for and even making memes about is the absence of the Demogorgons, the Demodogs, the Demobats when the crew enters the Abyss. Literally the home turf, this is where they spawn, they pop out of the fucking womb up here, and yet not a single thing is in the Abyss other than Vecna and the Mind Flayer. How is that possible? Why are they not there now at the most important moment? So people have been making memes that the Demogorgons, were off taking selfies in France and shit, or, whatever. Popping champagne, doesn't matter. For some inexplicable reason that is not present in the show in any way, shape, or form, they are just absent. Vecna gave them all a paid vacation. He said, you know what, guys? Holiday season, please, spend time with your families. And they weren't there, thus Vecna and the Mind Flayer got fucking ganked and blasted. Well, Matt Duffer was asked about this, and his response I think is fucking terrible. This comes from The Rap. Fair enough, another question I had that other people have been asking is once they get to the Abyss, where are all the creatures? Where are the Demogorgons, the Demodogs, the bats? Are they hiding? I'm actually surprised they asked this question, because that is like very blunt. It's like, hey, so, like, what the fuck happened to all these creatures that we spent, like, 10 years being afraid of and seeing them, like, in droves, where if you even step on a tentacle, the hive mind is alerted and you get swarmed by Demogorgons like it's fucking football players trying to recover a fumble. Where are they in the Abyss? They're literal home turf. And Matt Duffer said, mainly it's just that Vecna was not expecting the sneak attack on his home turf. Never in a million years could he have even imagined that. They're there somewhere. They're at the fucking titty bar. At the Abyss titty bar. They're looking at honkers and boobies. They were busy. They're somewhere, though, I'm sure. We obviously discussed having a demo battle on top of the Mind Flayer battle, but it felt more right to us that why does he need the demos when the Mind Flayer is this giant thing and can attack them? What the fuck are you talking about, man? It has used Demogorgons for 10 years. I imagine would of course still be using them as bodyguards and henchmen instead of trying to do the dirty work itself. That's like the whole fucking point of them. It would want them. He doesn't need his little ant army to attack. He's going to take care of this himself. It's a giant, desolate planet. If you recall, you see Henry wandering the planet back in Season 4, and at some point in his journey, he does see a demo far in the distance, but it's not like they're hanging out in little huts. There's not like a giant civilization of demos up there. There's not a cantina bar for demos. It's like they think the audience is so stupid that they weren't actually watching the show with their eyes open and brain on. What do you mean Vecna couldn't have imagined this in a million years? If you recall, you wrote this, by the way, Vecna went into the mind of Hop. This was after their whole plan was in motion. It was shortly before the ambush, and Vecna was poking around in his noodle there, looking at all of his neurons and using his past against him to even convince him that he shot L and then panicked and yanked Elle out of the tube, out of the bath, which then took her out of Henry's mind. He saw into Hop's mind. He would have seen this plan. But even if he didn't see the plan in Hop's mind, he briefly entered Elle's mind when they were in the house. So he had two people's brains, both of which knew of this plan, and we had seen in the past, Vecna, when he goes into someone's mind, he sees fucking everything. How would he have not seen this ambush? How would that have missed him? When this is the most, important plan they've ever concocted, and it is a fresh plan. This is, their most recent memory. This would be, the first thing you'd have to, push by in order to get to Hop's past with, his daughter. How would he have missed the plan? You just think it was, useless? They're probably not doing that. It's a load of fucking barnacles. There's no way they're doing that plan. This is something he would have seen. It's not even something he needs to imagine. He would have fucking seen it in their minds. Especially Hop's, for how long he spent in there. That's... how did he miss that? But even setting that fact aside, let's say for some reason those memories were blocked off, they for some reason had Magneto's helmet on for a brief moment there in order to block out Vecna's ability to see that. Why would the Demogorgon still not have even shown up at any point? I feel like they would have had ample time to arrive. They're extremely fast, and we've seen that when you agitate the hive mind in any way, they get swarmed. Demobats, Demodogs, Demogorgons, they come at you hard and fast. And I imagine around the fucking Mind Flayer and Vecna, literally like the hub of the abyss, there would be some Demogorgon nearby. In that moment that Matt Duffer is referencing where Henry saw a Demogorgon leaving, well, to me, that indicates that there is a plentiful amount there. And since he controls them, they are at his disposal, surely he would have thought to have them stationed nearby, even if not for defense, in order to more effectively send them out where he wants them to go. It's just pretty silly to say, he probably wouldn't use bodyguards or anything. The Demogorgon wouldn't be there. Mind Flayer wants to throw up a set himself and get pugilistic. Do it himself. Get right up in there and motorboat him to death. They wouldn't use anyone else. No pesky Demogorgons, Demobats, and Demodogs like he'd been doing for 10 years now prior. Not this time. But let's not harp too much on that, because there is one extremely huge plot hole that people have pointed out that I actually didn't even catch when I first finished watching it, and it is a huge plot hole that is pretty inexplicable other than whoops-a-daisy or suck our dick. We said so. There's no actual way of explaining it. And Collider did an interview with them and asked about this question, and their response is not very good. His response is basically, oh well. I saw this from a number of people talking about this online, and the staff also wanted to know. Will was connected to the hive mind, but didn't feel anything when Vecna was impaled and decapitated when the Mind Flayer was attacked. Why not? Matt Duffer responds, well, we aren't showing him when the Mind Flayer is being attacked. When he's getting decapitated, at that point, the Mind Flayer is dead, and so it, at that point, has severed the connection between him and Vecna. I swear to God, it's like they got hit by the Men in Black's neuralizer. What happened here? It's like they forgot their own show. What? Will is part of the hive mind. This was a crucial piece of lore, a crucial problem to be solved for this entire run of the show. All 10 years, this has been a big issue because he is connected to the hive mind. Thus, when you are hurting the hive mind, you're hurting Will. They even explicitly showed that in one of the earlier seasons where they're burning tunnels and Will's like, ah! Ah! Wah! He's feeling all that pain. And even right before, the Mind Flayer final battle, when Will is experiencing Henry's memories and Henry got shot in the hand, Will felt him get shot in the hand. It still hurt Will. He still experiences that pain because he's connected to the hive mind. And while they were burning the Mind Flayer alive, throwing the Molotov cocktails and stabbing its taint, right in its gooch with the spears that Dustin and Steve were using, all of that Will should have been experiencing as well, because he is still connected to the hive mind. And when pressed on it a bit further, and so you're saying it could be off camera, Matt Duffer says, when the Mind Flayer is getting attacked, we see how much in pain he is, obviously, even with Henry's memories, but we just wanted to focus on the final battle with our heroes. Exactly, so they are recognizing that he is still part of the hive mind, feeling all of this pain, but then he says, but we wanted to just focus on the final battle with Henry. So he's basically saying, yeah, we know, it's a problem, But fuck you. We just wanted to focus on that fight with Henry, which was a pretty underwhelming fight, by the way. It was a very anticlimactic, not an amazing showdown, unfortunately. And all of this happens in like 10 minutes. You build up a huge big bad, two big bads for 10 years, and it's over in 10 minutes. It's very underwhelming. That was one of my big complaints. But this is a huge glaring plot hole. Because the connection wasn't severed, Will would have also died with Vecna's death. Like, there's no getting around that. You can beat around the bush all you want, but even Matt Duffer's saying, we just wanted to focus on this other thing. So we didn't really give a lot of thought there on how to, provide a solution to that issue. We were just hoping you forgot. And in my case, it worked because I did forget about that. It didn't even register with me that Will should have also died then. But when you stop to think about it, yeah, there is no reason why Will should still be alive after Vecna's death when he was still connected to the hive mind at that moment. And when directly asked about it, they said, well, we didn't show it happening. It's like baby brain with no object permanence. Oh, my eyes are closed. The world around me must not be existing right now. So since we didn't show you any of that, you shouldn't be thinking that it's happening, because it's not. So stop putting any kind of like actual thought into this product. It's so weird. And then they're like, yeah, we just wanted to focus on the hero's final confrontation. It's a very weak explanation. That is not very satisfactory. And then another thing that I pointed out in my review is it's extremely fucking weird that after killing so many military personnel, foiling their plans, doing an unbelievable amount of illegal activity leading to the destruction of so much military property, and, like I said, murdering a bunch of military personnel, all of the main crew, everyone just gets to go free without a single, bump in the road. So they were asked, what happened with the military after blowing up the Upside Down? Ross Duffer responds, in that 18-month gap, I suppose there's not much else to do. You can't explore this other dimension. There's no 11 to chase anymore because she's gone. So my guess is they just sort of slowly dismantled operations and left town. Your guess? Buddy, you wrote it. It's your story. What happened? Why are you guessing? What the fuck is this? Is it like Voldemort's diary where it's writing itself? Like, what the fuck do you mean? You guess. It's like they don't even know. They didn't even bother to think. It's just like, and then 18 months later, everyone's happily ever after. Oh yeah, what happened in between? In between what? It's so weird to me, man. Like, again, as I pointed out in the review, they killed a bunch of military people. Like, these were, the most wanted criminals imaginable during this whole season. And now they finally get caught by the military, and then they just get let go? Like, there's no mention of, jail time or some kind of agreement that was reached between all of them. And it feels like Dr. K, since she's supposed to be the evil military lady, cutthroat, literally torturing women and impregnating them against their will for their psychic program, yet for some reason, she showed mercy to all of them, even after they were responsible for her entire life's work crumbling and tons of her peers dying. She decides, okay, that's fine. Hey, we're just gonna boot, scoot, and boogie on out of here. Have fun in Hawkins. We're all just gonna pack our bags and scram. We're gonna get out of town. What the fuck? Why don't you tell us what happened? Why don't you know? Why isn't that something you stop to consider? It's so odd to me. It's also so interesting to see answers like this. So a question that was asked, why did Vecna need 12 kids and not 5 or 20? And Ross Duffer apparently laughs, giving a little giggle. Tee-hee-hee. It's no specific reason other than he realized how much power he could exert from Will, and to do something of this scale of moving the planet, I don't know exactly how he did the math. Matt Duffer then says, thematically or symbolically, we like the clock symbolism. How deep? So why did Vecna need 12? They don't know. They just thought it was cool, I guess. Whereas fans have tirelessly worked on some really interesting, elaborate, thought-provoking theories on the significance of a lot of things, including needing 12 vessels. And then when you hear from the people that wrote it, it's like, oof. So there was not a whole lot of thought into that at all. It actually doesn't mean anything. It's just very deflating. If I was someone that got big into theory crafting around Stranger Things, I'd be very disappointed hearing from them just saying things like, yeah, I don't know. The clocks are cool, I guess. They're pretty dope. I don't know, it's upsetting because fans have cooked up much better and interesting theories for a lot of things than the writers were able to do here. It's so fucking odd. And I didn't know this at the time of my review, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of Stranger Things spin-offs, which I didn't know was confirmed until today. And it is clear this is going to be milked out the wazoo. So I feel like a lot of decisions that might have been made for this season were made with the idea of trying to stretch it out past the finale in order to like leave little things that they can explore for spin-offs and thus leading to a less fulfilling, less conclusive finale. So get ready to be seeing a lot more Stranger Things, even though this was the finale, I guess. It really is just, the whole thing is very underwhelming. As I said in the review, it's disappointing. It was the weakest season in the entire franchise for sure. And then when I hear from them about some of the decisions they made where I thought I was being very charitable, I thought maybe there was things I missed, like maybe there was like deeper meanings behind things. Well, it turns out not really. A lot of it's just them just saying, I don't know, or I guess maybe this. Like, it's just, that sucks. It is very similar to like how Game of Thrones season 8 writers were about it. Like, just kind of forgot. Anyway, just wanted to yap about it a bit. That's it. So, yeah. Big changes are coming to Google. Can you guess what they are? Yep, it's that naughty little word again that could make any sane person start twitching and tweaking like they just hit the crack pipe. AI. Yep, it's AI. And some specimen have the gall to call it an upgrade. Just giving you a fair warning here, buckle your seatbelt. I'm delivering a full yappy meal with this topic. This is just egregious. Before I really dive in though, just want to let you all know we are still doing our Memorial Day sale for Cheeky Soap, so you can go to usecheeky.com and get 20% off anything in the store using any creator code. It's the best soap in the universe. Upgrade your hygiene. Very moisturizing. Feels great after a shower. The era of linking you to sources relevant to your search inquiry are over. The 10 blue links, they have closed the book on it. Now these fucking whimsical Imagineers have unveiled an AI-powered overhaul that is centered around an intelligent search box, which sounds so spiffy and super cool. So instead of returning links that link to human sources for this information and websites that are run by people, well, most of the time, sometimes Google has linked to just complete fucking fraudulent slop, but on the whole, a lot of websites rely on the searches coming up when you look for the information that's relevant to their articles, and instead of now getting these links, Google search will drop users into an AI-powered interactive experience and is going to be introducing AI information agents to gather information on your behalf. These agents work like Santa's little helpers. They're out there in the trenches. They're putting together all the information to give you that beautiful gift of knowledge. So they go out and they scrape all of the websites that humans have provided the information for and feed it to you without you ever going to those websites. So those websites that the information came from see none of the benefit, apparently, but you get the information and you never click on the links or go there or anything like that, and you can't explore it further. The information agent has gathered it for you. So links are an afterthought. They will still be existing in some capacity, as I understand it. But it is primarily focused now on AI basically taking all of that and baby birding it into your mouth, just vomiting it into your mouth, and take them at their word that the AI is not hallucinating at the time and the information's not just completely fucking bogus. But as you can imagine, this isn't exactly going over swimmingly because so many people and businesses rely on Google search actually searching and linking the people that are looking for this information to their sites, because that's how they're able to survive and continue to provide that information, is people going to the site and exploring it there and engaging with it. If that doesn't happen, well, the site probably won't exist anymore. So now that information won't exist anymore. So where the fuck is the information agent going to even grab it from? I don't know. It feels like a really wacky and shitification. It doesn't do anything better. It just feels like it's more convoluted and just, again, a symptom of this disease that the world is inflicted with, where AI has to be ham-fisted into every single facet of life now to justify the trillions of dollars that are getting pulled into it into this fucking puddle of filth. Personally, I just don't see how this is yeehaw worthy. A search engine is supposed to search things for you, the human being, but now this is a lack of search engine at this point. The AI is just doing it. But historically, what would happen is you would type in a question, you would get your links, and you would go through these and look at all the relevant pieces there. And sometimes there's even a little bit of thought that goes into it where maybe there's like a website that you know has a poor reputation and provides like some bad information. Like for me, that's Fextra Life. If I'm ever looking up video game related shit and Fextra Life pops up as a link, I know to avoid it because a lot of times they're just blatantly wrong. So I know when I'm looking at video game things, I can just immediately filter that out when the link pops up and go to another more trustworthy source. And sometimes when you're looking up other things, you'll go to a website that maybe looks a little bit fishy and you start to question if the information's accurate. So then you'll check a couple other websites against that information to see if it was accurate, and maybe it wasn't. That is you as the human being having to use a little neuron activation up here to get the correct information. But an information agent here, maybe they don't do that. Maybe they just scrape the information from those links, like Fextra Life is usually at the top of video game searches, so maybe they just scrape the information there, and then when you search it through this new system here, they just give you the Fextra Life information that could just be entirely incorrect, and you would have no idea, of course, until you try to do it in the game, and it just left with your dick in your hand, I guess. But like, there are just so many times where maybe it doesn't check if the information's accurate, it was just one of the pieces of information that it scraped and fed to you. It's just, I don't see how this is an improvement. I really don't. It feels like they want you to think as little as possible, which is a bad thing, and don't let anyone convince you otherwise. They want you to do as little as possible and activate your brain as little as possible. Let information agents do this for you. Let us guide you through your questions. That's another thing we'll get into in a moment. Let us do all of the thinking for you. You asked a question, yeah, but let us be the one to do all of the work and the actual like gathering and thinking of it for you. That's bad. With the revamped search experience, also side note, I hate that they are now slapping that label with anything AI to try and like, make it a little more palatable. Oh, it's a AI experience. But really, it's actually the lack of an experience and taking experience away from you. It's so fucking slimy. The new search box simply expands to accommodate longer, more conversational queries rather than making you decide what type of search experience or mode you want to choose at the start, and it'll have a new AI-powered suggestion system that goes beyond autocomplete to help people craft more complex and nuanced queries, Google says. And Google's AI overviews will also allow users to ask follow-up questions in AI mode, which begins on Tuesday. So yeah, now you can enter Dicko mode if you like, and also starting in the summer, you can create, customize, and manage multiple new information agents within Google Search that work in the background 24/7 to track changes on the web and alert you to new information. For instance, you can have them track market movements and stuff like that. The shift means that searching the web will increasingly be performed by AI agents rather than humans. Instead, people will focus more on acting on the information those agents provide instead of manually clicking links. Again, I don't think there's anything good about that. I think people should have to go through the information gathering process themselves because there's value in being able to filter bad information from the good information, instead of just blindly trusting AI to get it right for you. I think the more we go down this path of like, don't do anything, don't worry about doing anything, don't think, just sit there fucking drooling and let AI do it for you, the worse humanity gets. Now, of course, the argument always goes, well, this helps, combat misinformation because, maybe people don't develop the ability to figure out what's real and what's fake when it comes to the information that's provided through their search inquiries. And fair enough, yeah, there are plenty of people that fall victim to just, consuming just dog shit. That happens, yeah. But AI doesn't fix it either. Look at Twitter right now. Look at how people utilize Grok. You can have AI corroborate all of your incorrect shit too, depending on how you ask it. Because AI, right now by design, is there to like appease you and fondle your little balls there at all times, which is why there's like AI-enforced delusion, or AI-reinforced delusions and stuff like that, AI psychosis. It's always there to coddle you. Thus, it can be manipulated and can provide incorrect information or lead you down the wrong path when it comes to what information is relevant to your inquiries. Like it's not infallible. In fact, there are so many examples of it just being wrong and at times downright dangerous with how it behaves with people that interact with it. So I don't think that this is a good change here. I don't think it's an upgrade by any means. I think search engines should always remain just this search engine. You type your question into it, it provides all of the relevant links, and you as the human being are in the driver's seat figuring out what's relevant to what you asked and learn that way. So I'm not a big fan of this, and I obviously agree with the take a lot of people have about how this is really bad for the actual websites that the information is being scraped from, because the people that are using this are never going to go to that website, and that hurts the website. They need visitors to survive. So as that dries up, those websites will probably vanish over time. So where are they even going to start sourcing the information from at that point? It just feels like a fucking sloppy mess to me. Search can build custom experiences just for your individual questions, from dynamic layouts, interactive visuals, to persistent and stateful project spaces that you can return to again and again. One of the ways Google's integrating these new capabilities is with generative UI, where it builds custom widgets and visualizations on the fly in answer to users' search questions. You can imagine, for example, how a question about black holes in space could lead to an interactive visual that brings the concept to life, adding that users can then ask follow-up questions and see Google respond with brand new visuals in real time. So basically, jingling keys. Hey, wait, you asked this question? Visual learner, aren't you? Here, look at all this. And maybe that could be helpful to some people if the information is accurate, but counterpoint, you could also find that exact same shit on websites. Do you know how many websites have visual representations for the information they're providing? It's a very common thing. Like those exist, and they're made by humans as opposed to being generated by AI, where again, it could get it totally fucking wrong, and you as the person who asked the question wouldn't know that. And you're probably not going to go search, ancillary links outside of this conversational mode and this like interactive custom experience AI has built. So then you will just have incorrect information. But again, I don't view this as a good change. Now, this article covering it concludes by mentioning the likely impact this will have on Google referrals to publishers, noting that they've already been declining just from the AI overviews that currently exist. This has put some ad-dependent media operations out of business, and now things will likely get worse, which I agree. They most certainly will with this change being implemented. There's little time left for publishers to adapt. The new search box is arriving this week, and generative UI is arriving this summer. Both are free. The mini app building feature and information agents will roll out first to Google AI Pro and Ultra subscribers this summer, but Google's long-term plan is to make its AI technology more broadly accessible, including its personal AI agent Spark, which will eventually be free, as well as will many of the AI features. Part of the reason we focus on delivering frontier models, highly capable but also very efficient, fast, and at a lower price, is because we want to bring it to as many people as possible, and so I think that's an area where we will shine. The CEO stated. And that's a bunch of baloney. That's actually not at all the reason behind it. It's money. It's solely for money. If they can have a stranglehold on information like this and all of this AI technology and have people reliant and constantly suckling from their bosom, then they're going to stand to make tons and tons and tons of money. They already have basically a monopoly on search engines. They are the de facto search engine people use. So, if they can convert into something like this, they will make even more money off being not just a search engine, and in fact, I would argue they would stop being a search engine almost entirely after this. I would think this is more akin to like a chat bot with a bunch of bells and whistles that'll make little custom things for you with their generative UI and stuff. But it feels like it's more of a chat bot that you're getting information from as opposed to a search engine. That's my take on it. But again, this makes them more money. That is the brass tacks of it. Like, they will make significantly more money with this pivot, and that's why they're doing it. And I don't think there's any like actual good things that come from it. It hurts all of the people that have websites that rely on Google indexing them and referring people to their sites. And also, it makes it bad for you, the person asking questions, because, well, now you just have to take your chatbot's word that it's real and accurate and stuff like that. Like, sure, you can still probably go search yourself looking through the actual manual links, but that's really not what Google's wanting anymore. And I think very few users that are going to engage with this would be the person that would go and like try and dig in to confirm whether or not what they were fed by AI was true. they probably will just be like, ah, okay, it said so, so it must be right. And I just think that's disastrous. So yeah, saw this change. I'm not a big fan of it. That's really about it. So yeah.
Initiating moisture.
Welcome to the Moist Meter. Today we're looking at YouTube superstar internet sensation Will Smith's new movie, Gemini Man. Gemini Man is about Will Smith versus Will Smith. And honestly, I don't know why people are shitting on it as hard as they are. The movie's fine. I mean, there's a lot wrong with it, obviously, but if you're coming in here looking for a silly action movie, god damn it, you're getting the silliest fucking action movie you can find these days. It's unapologetically silly action, and I fucking love it. Apparently the script for this movie is over 20 years old, and you feel every goddamn year on that number. Because this feels like something 20 years ago, and that's a good thing to me. I'm totally fine with a movie like this existing. I'll get the negatives out of the way. The CG de-aging they used on Will Smith is fucking uncanny valley sometimes, especially at the end of the movie. It's not bad by any means, but it looks kind of amateurishly deep-faked at points, and other times just down cool action scenes for no reason. That being said, there's not like a whole ton of action scenes. This isn't like exploding with just full throttle over the top testosterone adrenaline pumping action or anything. But when you do get action, it's super satisfying. But again, the physics it's weird. It's like an old tech demo. I saw this movie in HFVR DVD. I don't know. I don't fucking remember. I think it's high frame rate rectums, HFV maybe. I don't remember. Some new thing they're doing with 60 FPS and 3D. I did that. I've never done it before, and I swear to God, I didn't notice a single difference. Not only did it not feel 3D, but it didn't feel like 60 frames per second either. It just felt totally fucking normal. Also, I could take the glasses off sometimes, and it looked the same as if I had them on. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with 3D these days. I don't see movies in them, but I guess they just got rid of 3D and just only use it as like a bad marketing tool. I'm not sure. But that's just probably worth noting. But again, yeah, the physics just seemed like an old tech demo for something out of the PS2 era at times. Which is fine, because old tech demos for PS2 were pretty fucking cool. So I don't know why everyone's shitting on it so hard. I don't know why they'd go into a movie like Gemini Man expecting something to be like a really profound action movie with some kind of incredible story to tell or something really, memorable or profound about it. There's none of that here. You're not going to find that here. But Will Smith versus Will Smith. Will Smith is a good actor. Will Smith's a fun actor. He's got some good lines in here sometimes in between some shit dialogue. He's got some real good action in here sometimes in between a shit story. I enjoyed it. There's some useless characters for sure. There's like this Russian character they bring in who only exists to be in like a bathhouse almost naked to just say a couple lines and then waddle away on his sandals with bad posture. He's never touched on again in the rest of the movie. I don't know what purpose he served. Maybe it was just like the director owing a friend a favor, so he tossed him in there. I'm really not sure about that whole entire arc. But that's there. Doesn't need to be, but it's there, and I don't mind it, because fuck it, it's still kind of enjoyably goofy. It's a fun movie. I really did enjoy it. I can see why people wouldn't like it if they went in here expecting more than what this movie's even trying to offer. Plugging Gemini Man into the Moist Meter, I'm giving this bad boy a crisp 40%. I enjoyed it. I think it's worth seeing if you're just looking for a little movie to shove some popcorn in your face to, just chill, watch some cool action, look at some weird physics and, I guess high frame rate maybe, if you see HFR VR or whatever it is. I didn't notice a difference, but maybe I'm just a fucking idiot. I had fun. That's it. So yeah.
JoJo Siwa. Even just saying her name elicits a involuntary response from your body, having your face kind of like crumple up like you just ate a warhead or something really sour. Because you always know when JoJo Siwa's name comes up in conversation, it's something embarrassing. Now, I will say, on my short list of idols, she does make it into the top 5 because I think she is truly the best dog shit dancer this species has ever produced. And I am a big enthusiast of bad dancing, so her classic Karma's a Bitch seizure, as well as her guilty pleasure stinky treasure dance routine here. This whole one is a masterpiece because there's not a single move here that looks good. Especially this finale, this is by far my favorite part where it's kind of like some kind of monster walk. That's like a walk cycle a rubber hose cartoon would use when a villain shows up to the scene. But the point is, I love bad dancing, and no one does it worse than she does. Many of you know, I'm actually somewhat of a pioneer myself, the creator of the classic Where's My Hug At? And I've actually been in the lab cooking some new stuff. I don't have a name for this yet, but it kind of combines the Habbo Hotel dance animation with a little bit of like robotic Roomba maneuvers, so you can do like little circles with it. But I'm already getting lost in the sauce. I'm not here to talk about JoJo Siwa's dancing. I'm here to talk about her scamming. You can now pay $900 for the VIP package to be an unpaid roadie for JoJo Siwa. If that sounds familiar, it's because Gene Simmons just announced this exact same deal for $12,500. I made a video on that like 2 weeks ago. So JoJo Siwa really just took a page out of Gene fucking Simmons' playbook here. It's almost one-to-one. She copied Gene Simmons' homework. So here's what you get for the VIP package. The Dream Guest experience. You get 1 general admin ticket. You can watch the show from any designated audience area of your choice. You get an exclusive invitation to JoJo's live show setup before Q&A and sound check with JoJo. You get to help her put together the show with song selection input, which I'm just going to call fucking barnacles on because there's no way she's going to let any goober who pays $900 for this get to have any say in what she performs. Like, this is definitely already pre-selected shit. An exclusive autograph of JoJo memorabilia worn during the show, so you'll get to wear her sweaty clothes that she performed in. Yeehaw. Access to her pre-show sound check and a Q&A. A pre-show meet and greet and a photo opportunity in front of the VIP backdrop, so that way everyone will know you wasted $900 so they can shoot spitballs at you and make fun of you. VIP exclusive merch, a commemorative VIP laminate and lanyard, early entry into the building with priority access, pre-show merch and shopping opportunity, a VIP host. So you're not just working for free, unpaid labor, you are paying to have the privilege of working for free for JoJo as a roadie. It's a beautiful scam, it really is, and I actually think there will be people that make this purchase. I just have a strong hunch that there actually will be some pitiful souls out there spending $900 to get fucking shit-stained breeches that JoJo wore during the show and setting up the show for her for free. But maybe I'm just being a Scrooge. Let's hear it from JoJo herself as she tries to sell us on this dream VIP package experience, because maybe there's more to it than meets the eye.
I mean, there's so much to tease. I am really excited because I wanted to create a show that wasn't just a concert, right? I have all these songs that I love to sing, but I was like, I want to do something more. I want to create, a party environment. I want to create something that feels very, immersive, interactive, intimate. And so I really did that with this show. And so, you're going to get the concert that you want to see, right? But then...
How innovative. Making a concert into a big party. AKA... what concerts kind of already are in the first place. This is a bunch of mumbo-jumbo here. This is gobbledygook. Like, you're just describing a concert. I just went to a Deftones concert. That shit was a great big party. It was a lot of fun. I don't exactly know what she's going to do to make it more of a party. I guess maybe she'll toss a beach ball around that everyone can start hitting, and maybe she'll, like, plant kegs and beer pong tables and flip cup around there. Like, I have no idea what she's doing to make it more of a party. I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you she so desperately wants to be unique, and it is so cringe how hard she tries to stand out with like weird fashion choices, like really off-the-wall stuff. She does it on purpose, leaning into it full well knowing people make fun of her for it, but it's just, to me, kind of sad how hard she wants to be viewed as like really quirky and zany for the things that she wears when she performs and stuff. So like in here, she's got like the football pads on. I don't even really know what that is. It looks like the armor the Saiyans wore like when Nappa and Vegeta came down and met Goku for the first time. But like if it was set in the My Little Pony universe instead of Dragon Ball.
There's going to be a DJ set run by me. There's going to be an interactive game with the audience where they have a chance to win a sick prize.
It's going to be beyond sick. It's going to be dope. I have no doubt that prize is going to go ballistic. It'll be like a fucking half-eaten Subway sandwich that she had for lunch that she'll toss into the crowd if you complete her like trivia game or whatever she's going to play with the audience.
And I read that there is a chance for fans to get close and personal with you.
There is.
What can you tell us?
There's one, and this is the like most exclusive VIP, where you actually are going to get to come during while we're like loading in the show, and you're going to get to kind of like help us set it up and make sure things are right and test out, the drum with me or the DJ booth with me. You're going to kind of...
You're describing a job, JoJo. This is labor. You're supposed to be paid for these things, not pay for the privilege of doing them for you for free. It's an interesting proposition. Gene Simmons really did just blow open a whole new door for insufferable assholes to exploit their fans here for these VIP packages. I don't know if this was common before Gene Simmons, but I'm pretty confident JoJo saw that from Gene and said, I want to do that. I feel like that's where this spawned from. That's just a hunch, though.
Get that. Then we're doing another one where you just get an exclusive backstage tour. We're doing this fun thing where you get a little bit of show memorabilia. So there's different things that are used within the show that we will replace every night. And so we will give that to those top tier. We're calling them dream guests on my show, like dream guests on my podcast, but dream guests on my show.
The title makes sense. These are dream guests. These are the most brainwashed drones you could find that will actually pay you tons of money to work for you for nothing in return. I guess, other than, of course, maybe some grease-stained clothes that were worn during the performance. That's enough, I guess. But, yeah, hearing her describe it, I'm still not sold on the value. Still don't think that's worth 900 clams to go work for free for the JoJo Siwa tour. Now, I got a little curious. She is coming to Tampa, and I was tempted to buy the $900 package just to see what that's like. I wouldn't pay $12,500 to move around Gene Simmons' oxygen tank and get fucking coffee for him while he berates me and demands that I change his diaper, but I would consider paying $900 to help set up JoJo Siwa's song selection and fucking, I don't know, the sound check and bring in all the equipment or whatever else was described there. That would almost be worth it as a joke, but I don't think I'll actually do it. It just seems like the joke immediately loses its luster when I show up there and just get put to work. I paid for this package. Now I'm working fucking 6 hours or 8 hours, however long it is to set this up. And then all I get to do is listen to music I don't like. She doesn't have a single song that I could even wiggle my finger to. And I get cursed with some kind of special grade cursed item that she wore during the performance. The idea of it is silly, paying to do that as a joke, but actually doing it, I would be so ashamed. But I just wanted to mention, I looked it up, she is coming to Tampa, and I thought about it for a second. So yeah, I think this is a terrible VIP package. I don't think it's a good idea, I'll be honest with you. That's really about it. So yeah. I imagine a lot of you are tired of hearing me whine about insomnia in the intro of some of my videos recently, lamenting my lack of sleep. Well, that's too bad, Buster. And dagnabbit, I haven't slept again, in case you couldn't quite tell. And you know what? I don't feel like turning that light on over there, so you're getting the scary campfire lighting right now that makes me look like a character out of Fear and Hunger. So deal with it. I feel like SpongeBob when he got the goddamn suds. I'm tired, but I can't sleep. Been tossing and turning, laying around, not able to catch any Z's, so I decided to go to the old tried and true method of getting a wonderful lullaby together to help me fall asleep peacefully, making fun of Pokemon scalpers.
Things twice, bro.
Get away from me!
Hey, yo, you are.
Get away from me! Stay behind me! Get away from me, dude!
Hey, you're putting your hands
Don't
on.
call the cops!
You're putting
behind
your hands on me for assault.
No,
you're assaulting somebody right now.
Away from
You're
me.
assaulting me.
If you see a Pokemon card vending machine, just know you entered a PvP zone. They're like the most hostile places on Earth. Anytime there's a Pokemon card vending machine with multiple people around it, you know shit's about to pop off. Now, it usually doesn't result in a full-blown fight with haymakers being thrown or anything. Typically what you get is what you saw right there, where it's a lot of boxing out, like he's about to try and get a rebound, while desperately trying to swipe for more Pokemon card product from the machine, as someone's trying to get around him to take control of the device themselves. It's a lot of bumping and grinding, but make no mistake, this is only elevating in frequency and aggression, and I imagine it won't be long now before we see our first fatality at a Pokemon card vending machine as people fight over these products so they can scalp them online for a $2 profit.
You're over here putting your hands on me. Get away from me! Yo! You're over here assaulting me, bro.
Now it's starting to get a little scrappy. The guy in the glasses got a little feisty there. He like went over top of him, and I thought he was going to give him a fucking titty twister right there, just start tweaking on his nipples the way he like wrapped around him like a fucking jetpack. But this guy's defense is good. He definitely knows some BJJ or something right now. He's doing a great job trying to getting out of the full mount, and he is still maintaining control of the Pokemon card vending machine.
Get away from me! You're assaulting me! You're putting your hands on me! Look, get away from me! Brother! Really funny.
An unstoppable object meeting an immovable force. It's inspiring. The guy in the beanie is just refusing to budge. And I gotta tell you, the tactics from the glasses guy are confusing. This technique is clearly not working. He's going for like a, I don't know, like chest bump him out of the vicinity type deal. But the other guy's just, you know, getting him with some shoves. He's hitting him almost like with the E-Honda moves from Street Fighter at times here. Yet this guy does not give up. He still keeps trying to like swoop in there. Now, Pokemon card vending machines have a glitch in them right now that a lot of scalpers are exploiting for their own financial gain, where Pokemon card vending machines have a limit where a customer can't just buy out the whole machine and leave everyone with their fucking dick in their hand. But these fucking worms, these degenerate dweeb dork losers, have found a way around those limits by doing like basically a frame perfect speedrun trick. As I understand it, if they swipe their card while in between screens on the Pokemon card vending machine, they can still add product to their cart even though they're past their purchase limit, even if it says sold out. So that's how a lot of them are glitching the machine. The guy in the yellow beanie here, I don't think is actually trying to glitch it. At least it doesn't seem like it to me, compared to the other videos of people that are blatantly glitching it and proudly talking about how they're glitching it. I don't think he was one of those people. But I think the guy who's desperately trying to get in there probably was. I think he was probably going to do that, and he was upset that he wasn't there first so that way he could take all the inventory. That's my hunch, at least.
You're bleeding. You're over here. Oh, you already got stuff, bruh. Let people go. I'm alive. You already got stuff. You better get away from me. You already got stuff, bruh. He's crazy.
Now, of course, it is entirely possible he is attempting to glitch the machine, and that's the reason why this guy is so desperately trying to get in there, because he knows once he, goes fucking turbo mode here with the glitch activated, then he won't be able to get any product for himself. That's also equally possible, but I'm going to show you some footage of someone who did glitch the machine, and it just looks different than how he's doing it. But before that, I want to show you someone trying to glitch the machine the old-fashioned way, the way our forefathers used to scalp Pokemon products and ruin this hobby for children.
What?
Get out from behind there now.
Okay, I'll get
No, now.
Okay.
He's got the spirit, but he doesn't have the brain power for it. The body is willing, but the mind lacks the neurons to pull off the glitch. So he said, to hell with it. I'm gonna do it my way. So he crawls behind the machine to unplug it, I think in an effort to reset his limits, but then he got stuck. So one of the employees is over there just trying to bargain with him to get the fuck out from behind the machine, but he is firmly lodged in there. I wish I could find a longer video of this, because I have no doubt he probably got filmed by a couple of people, because he is now like a turtle on its shell. Like, he can't get out from the machine. He is now just fucking stuck there.
Look at this dude. Glitching out the machine like a loser. So kids can't get it. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know it's actually illegal to tamper with vending machines.
Police.
I will.
Please do.
I will.
So this is someone who does appear to be glitching the machine. You can see he's adding products that's labeled sold out into his cart, which is a result of glitching it. As I understand it, sometimes it'll say sold out to a customer in order to prevent them from adding more product past their limit. But it's not actually sold out per se, like there is still more product there, but it's the Pokemon card vending machine's way of trying to fight back against these fucking parasites. So they just say that it's sold out, but even that's not enough to stop them. So this guy is apparently glitching it out, and this guy is now just insulting him to his face, and he mentions that tampering with vending machines is illegal, that it's a crime, which I'd never heard of before. And I looked it up, and I guess, yeah, it does seem to be true. I don't know if anyone's going to get arrested for this, but that would be fucking amazing. If the Pokemon company worked with law enforcement to have everyone who's been caught glitching their machines fucking thrown in jail. Can you even imagine? Holy shit. That would actually probably cure my insomnia on the spot if I heard about that happening. That'd be incredible. I feel like anyone would be able to sleep peaceful knowing scalpers are out there miserable. That'd be great. But unfortunately, that's not the case right now. This fucking hobby is truly a cesspool. Like, I know I cover a lot of Pokemon scalper shit and a lot of Pokemon armed robberies that seem to be happening a lot now. And I can't help it. It's just out of control, and I gotta yap about it. This shit is fucking disgusting.
Hell yeah. These guys are the guys glitching it, as always. Mm-hmm. Dude, I know who you guys are. You're the Tui boys. I know it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's alright. Just goes to Pokemon Center. They already started one on you guys up north.
That's fine. I don't give a fuck. I'm enjoying this Red Bull.
You enjoy it.
It's been a good day.
Oh, the way he's nursing that Red Bull there, just sipping it like he's at his first fucking college frat party with a PBR in his hands and unable to figure out how to socialize. So all he does is try and like put his hand in his pocket and drink from the fucking can. Just to try and make it seem like he's not bothered by this, even though he clearly is. So a big thing that's been happening is people glitching the machines, and when people glitch them, they immediately get filmed and shamed, it seems. Even among scalpers, that's apparently a big no-no. So now, all of these losers that are glitching the machines are being filmed by, in a lot of cases, other scalpers who are pointing and laughing at them. So now there's, in the world of Pokemon scalpers, there is people even scalpers look down on. And it's these Pokemon card vending machine glitchers. It's pandemonium out there. There are so many videos of people just going up and insulting individuals or even groups sometimes that are glitching these vending machines. It's a ton. But I don't think I need to show you all of them here. They're popping up every single day, and multiple times a day. So anyway, I just wanted to make fun of some Pokemon scalpers again. That's really about it. So yeah. Well, man, I've got some bad news. My Trump phone has still not arrived. I don't know what's happened. Maybe a angry horde of goblins got in there and stole my Trump phone, my treasure, taking the one piece for themselves, because I was told over a week ago that in the next day or two I was going to be getting my email with the shipping information for my Trump phone, my T1 device that I put $100 on, and I haven't received that email, and it's not like they were saving it as some kind of surprise gift for me or anything, like a fucking birthday clown scooting in with the T1 device in hand for me. Nothing. Crickets, again. And also, I did just learn about the Trump Mobile terms and conditions. I don't know if these are new and I just missed them, because no sane human being on the planet is actually perusing the terms and conditions and going through line by line checking, at least not normally. But I've also been told that these are new additions to Trump Mobile. Either way, they are fucking alarming. I'm going to get to that here in a little bit, because I also called customer support about the terms and conditions, because if you actually dropped 100 clams on this and then took a peek at those, you should be sweating. It is wacky what they've put in there. But before then, I did give Trump Mobile a call yesterday before learning about the terms and conditions, just to check on the status of my order, because surely, you know, after I was told that it'd be shipped out in the next day or two, Something must have just been cause for the holdup. Maybe Trump went in there personally to start kissing each and every phone, and his lips got a little dry, so he had to take the day off before getting to mine. I can understand that. There must have just been something in the pipeline that went a little cattywampus, but is probably soon fixed, and I'll be getting my email any day. Well, it's been almost a week since Trump Mobile Support told me that I'd be getting an email about my T1 mobile device shipping, but I think the email must have got lost in the cyberspace somewhere, so I kind of want to just check in and make sure that everything's still going according to schedule, and I'll be receiving my T1 mobile device in my hands any day now. I just want to make sure everything's alright.
Thank you for calling Trump Mobile. For English, press 1. Para español, oprima el número dos.
One day I'm gonna press 2. One day I'm gonna press dos, but today is not that day.
Press 1 to open a new Trump Mobile account. Otherwise, press 2 for support with an existing. Thank you for calling Trump Mobile. Your
Alright.
call is very important to us. To ensure
Let's
the
see what's
highest
going
level
on.
of customer care, this call may be recorded for quality control and training purposes. Please hold, and our next available representative will be with you shortly. You can also visit our website at www.trumpmobile.com to apply for a new account or access your personal account portal.
No hold music? What happened? Where's my hold music? Why is it just pure silence, just crickets? Did they not want to pay for licensing rights for just fucking elevator music now? It's absurd! I'm supposed to be a valued customer and you can't even blast me some goddamn tunes? No boner jams while I wait? Jinkies, it must be busy over there at Trump Mobile. What in tarnation? This is taking quite a while. It must be a company-wide issue that the emails didn't go out to all the Trump Mobile customers that are eagerly awaiting their Christmas gifts from Santa.
Hello, and thank you for calling Trump Mobile. This is Sheena. How can I assist you?
Hey, hello. I just wanted to check on the status of my order.
It's been in a whole separate window.
Hello? No. Hello? They hung up on me. What the fuck is that? What? Pardon? Wait, what? I'll call back. Must have been a misinput there. Interesting.
Thank you for calling Trump Mobile. For English, press
Okay, here I
Para
come.
español, oprima el número dos shortly.
Man, I waited so long for that too.
www.trumpmobile.com to apply for a new account or access your personal. Thank you for calling Trump Mobile. Can I assist you today?
Hey, hello. I was just hoping to check on the status of my T1 device.
I can definitely assist you with that. Can I get your first and last name?
Charles White.
Okay, so as of right now, we're still waiting on the phones to be shipped out. We don't have an exact date, but it's still going by first come, first served basis.
Oh, okay. I called last week and I was told that I should be receiving an email in the next day or so because they were shipping out at the end of April. Did something happen?
So they were supposed to get shipped out at the end of April. They just did not. It's now been extended. So you would have gotten that email if it did, but you get an email when it does shipped out. That is correct.
Okay. All right. So when is there's like no ballpark estimate on when that might be though?
No, sir. We have no exact date.
Okay. Well, do you guys have the T1 though, right? Like it is, like it's there, right?
Like here in office, we have one here in office.
Okay, so all right. Well, that's reassuring because now I'm starting to get a little concerned about the whereabouts is all.
Oh, got you. Okay, yes. We got ours shipped here in the office yet. The phones just hasn't been shipped out to the customers yet. That makes sense.
Okay. Understood. I appreciate the update.
No problem. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, that'll be it. Thank you.
Keep it calm, Trump Mobile. Have a nice evening.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
He did not sound happy. I have to imagine there is a lot of rowdy fucking worms that are calling, blowing up their phones about the T1 device. It's not cheap, by the way. That was supposed to come out in August of 2025. So I bet there's people that are like actually steaming. So I never want to be like aggressive to them. I mean, it's not their fault. It's their job. They have to take the calls. That's got to be fucking brutal, though. I can only imagine what that's like. So, looks like the end of the month in April didn't quite pan out, which I can't believe. It's unlike them to miss dates and deadlines and expectations and break promises. That's so odd. And I guess the last customer support rep, when she told me that I'd be receiving an email in the next day or two, I guess that also fell through the cracks. I guess it's back to any day now, which is exciting. So any day now, I should be getting my Trump phone. I can't wait. Maybe. So after looking at the terms and conditions, which I was told are new, but I have no way of confirming if that's true or not, I just never even checked them because why would I? You would expect it to just be like normal boilerplate shit in a phone terms and conditions, but Trump Mobile's terms are very weird. Like, I'm talking like goofy shit. This, like, oh my. Let's dive into this League of Legends champion lore. So deposit purpose will start there. A pre-order deposit provides only a conditional opportunity if Trump Mobile later elects in its sole discretion to offer the device for sale. That's already sounding alarms in my noodle. What do you mean? A conditional opportunity if they offer the device for sale? The device is for sale, isn't it? They are taking my money right now. They have my 100 doubloons. So surely the device is already for sale, right? Like, isn't that how that works? A deposit is not a purchase, does not constitute acceptance of an order, does not create a contract for sale, does not transfer ownership or title interest, does not allocate or reserve specific inventory, and does not guarantee that a device will be produced or made available for purchase. So they're not even guaranteeing that the device is being produced or will be made available for purchase. And they also say that it does not reserve specific inventory. That's the whole idea of pre-ordering something, that you are reserving that specific thing that you are putting money into. You are putting $100 into this phone that they are selling, and they are telling you the price of the phone is like $500, but $100 is supposed to grant you access to purchasing that device when it's available. Like, it is supposed to hold it for you. That's the entire idea behind a pre-order. And it's, again, not cheap. Thousands of people put $100 down. They allegedly made millions upon millions of dollars off the T1 device. And then here in their own terms, they're saying that, well, it doesn't actually do anything at all. And then there's also a section about no binding sale, which goes through about how until you satisfy these 4 conditions, the 4 commandments of Trump Mobile, then you don't actually have anything that's enforceable. And then this one is super eyebrow raising, where it says no price lock or promotion guarantee. The deposit does not lock in pricing, promotions, service plans, taxes, fees, shipping cost, or other commercial terms. Final pricing and offers will be disclosed at the time of purchase, and you will have the opportunity to accept or reject the final terms before completing your purchase. Pricing and promotional terms may change any time prior to purchase. Any applicable taxes will be calculated at the time of final sale and may vary based on shipping location and then current tax laws. Any prior advertising, marketing materials, product renderings, feature descriptions, or estimated timelines are informational only, and do not constitute binding representations, warranties, or guarantees. So if I'm understanding that correctly, one of the big things there is that the price is not fixed. It is subject to change, which is something I talked about in the last video, how it's looking like it's going to be more expensive, but there was the idea that you were grandfathered in once you put down this deposit at the $500 they were saying that it is, and have been saying that it is for almost a year. This phone was supposed to come out in August of 2025. And when it missed that deadline, it said at the end of 2025. Still, it hasn't come out now. May of 2026. So they're also saying that, well, you can't hold it against us, the estimated timelines. It's all hooey. We're pulling it out of our ass. But the price lock is very interesting. It's saying explicitly it does not price lock. So when you pre-order, you put the $100 down, you are not price locked. But if you look at the top of the page on the website itself, as I'm looking at the terms and conditions, look at the top left. Lock in your T1 phone promotional pricing now. So it is advertising that when you put this money down, you are price locking. That's what it's telling you. It is literally telling you that that's what you're doing. But then when you look at their terms, it's saying, no, that's not actually what you're doing. How is that not fraudulent? That's just a fucking lie then. Also, it says all of the information that they've been providing for a year now about what the T1 is and its specs and all of the renderings and all of that aren't actually representative of the device. It's saying that, nope, all of that could just be a bunch of hoo-ha, a bunch of mumbo-jumbo, and that's okay. So then, you are advertising something, knowingly advertising something that may not be representative of what is actually getting sold to the customer. Again, how is that not fraud? You are blatantly misleading them on purpose. And then in your own terms, they're saying like, yeah, we might be doing that. Can't hold it against us. What the fuck? It continues, no guarantee of release, delivery, or timing. That should make you feel much more comfortable about the $100 you spent on the pre-order when there's not even a guarantee of release in their own terms and conditions. They're selling you something and also letting you know like it might not ever come out. We haven't actually decided. Estimated ship dates, launch timelines, or anticipated production schedule are non-binding estimates only. Trump Mobile does not guarantee that the device will be commercially released. Well, you see, they are actually just selling you an idea of something that they might release, potentially, but will take $100 just for even providing you the idea and the website for the idea. It's fucking lunacy. Regulatory approvals, including FCC authorization, will be obtained. Carrier certification will be secured. Production will commence or continue, or delivery will occur within any specific time frame. Trump Mobile will not be responsible for delay, modification, or failure to release a device due to causes beyond its reasonable control, including but not limited to regulatory review, carrier certification delays, component shortages, labor disruptions, governmental orders, acts of God. Oh, I can't even imagine what that would look like. God comes in and is like, no, the T1 device is too powerful. It will allow you to do too many things. The calls are too pristine. The camera's too good. The steak is too buttery. I will smite it. I like how they threw acts of God in here. But also, according to Trump's spiritual advisor, Trump literally is Jesus. And Trump likes to compare himself to Jesus all the time, too. So why would God come in and try and disrupt the T1 device, the gold-plated T1 mobile device? That wouldn't make any sense. Transportation interruptions or third-party supplier failures. Next, there's no guarantee of network compatibility or performance. Also, if we do deliver this, there's no guarantee it's going to be compatible, and it also might blow major ass. And you have to agree to that. You have to know that. Device compatibility, functionality, performance, and feature availability are not guaranteed and may vary materially based on carrier certification, network conditions, regulatory approvals, software or firmware changes, geographic location, and service plan configuration, except as expressly set forth in the final written product specifications at the time of sale. Trump Mobile disclaims all representations regarding operation on any specific carrier network or support for any particular network technology. And there's also product changes that are permitted, device specifications, features, software, hardware components, storage capacities, bundled accessories, colors, and configurations are subject to change prior to final sale. Images, prototypes, beta demonstrations, and marketing renderings are illustrative only and may not reflect final production units. That's so crazy, man. They are just saying, like, everything we've been telling you, everything we've been showing you, everything we've been saying is probably a lie. It is very potentially a lie. It is only there for illustrative purposes and to get suckers on the hook to give us money. And you have to know that. You should have known that. And so now we're just telling you point blank to your face. Also, this device may never be delivered. And if it's not, that's okay. If we fail to deliver it, no problem. Then we'll take it home here. Deposit, amount, and application. The amount of the deposit will be disclosed at the time of payment. If you complete a device purchase, the deposit will be applied as a credit toward the purchase price at checkout unless you request otherwise or unless the deposit amount exceeds the purchase price. Deposits have no cash value except as expressly disclosed. Then they let you know that you can cancel it before completing the purchase for the refund. So if Trump Mobile cancels or discontinues the device prior to sale, they'll issue a full refund of the deposit amount paid, which that's nice. Very cool. If we decide not to release it, we'll give your money back, we think. And then if Trump Mobile cancels, delays, or does not release the device, I love how this is a core component in the terms and conditions. Like, listen, guys, we really might not release it. This really might have all been a lie. They keep driving that point home. Your sole and exclusive remedy is a full refund of the deposit amount actually paid, and you waive any claim to equitable, injunctive, or specific performance relief relating to pre-order priority or device allocation. Trump Mobile shall not be liable for indirect, incidental, special, consequential, exemplary, or punitive damages, including loss of opportunity, loss of anticipated savings, loss of priority status, or loss of profits. Now, like I said, I don't typically take a peek at the terms and conditions of products that I buy or pre-order, but I have to imagine it's not entirely standard to constantly reiterate if the device doesn't come out. Also, all of the material you've seen about it might be a lie and not indicative of the actual product if the product ever releases, if they decide they want to release the product for sale, if the product ever gets made. They keep saying if there is a product here. Constantly saying if the product comes out, if this, if that, in regards to the production of it. So what the fuck are you putting $100 on? Like, this is craziness. So even in the most recent video I made covering this, where The Verge did see a T1 device, it's very possible that that's not the device you're going to get, because in its terms, it's saying everything you see about it might not actually be representative of what they ship out, if they ever even ship out a phone, and if they don't, you might get a refund. On their own website, they are the ones constantly telling you that there might not be a phone that's released here. The T1 might not go for sale. They are saying that. What the fuck, man? Why is that even allowed? I feel like if I did something like this, I would be in trouble legally. If I said, I'm releasing the Charles device, the Charles mobile device. You can fucking contact aliens. It's got 55 billion gigawatts of power harnessed from the goddamn Tesseract that I've implanted in each device. I need your pre-orders now at $100 to lock it in. It'll be a $500 phone. Now sign up now. I feel like if I was promoting that and then I had no phone or anything to show for it, I would face some consequences for it because it would be labeled a scam. Even if in my terms I'm saying, oh, this is all just marketing. This isn't representative of what I'm actually selling you, if I'm even selling you anything in the first place. Like, I would get in trouble. Anyone would, because anyone would look at that and be like, ooh, that seems like a scam. This feels fake. You are even saying that it might not come out. So even though they're saying, if it doesn't, you can get refunds, you are still hawking something that's not even existing. That's fucking absurd. So anyway, after reading that, I wanted to call Trump Mobile support, get some answers directly from the source. So I got them on the horn to at least just ask about what my pre-order even means, because in their own terms, it says that it doesn't even hold the phone for me. Really, that's what it leads you to believe, that you're not actually securing anything.
Press 1 to open a new Trump Mobile account. Otherwise, press 2 for support with an existing Trump Mobile.
I've become a master at navigating this.
Your call is very important to us. To ensure the highest level of customer care, this call may be recorded for quality control and training purposes. Please hold, and our next available representative will be with you shortly. You can also visit our website at www.trumpmobile.com to apply for a new account or access your personal account portal.
Wasn't there typically 2 stages there? Previously? They hung up on me. What? What is going on? Wait, what? Did they change their support? There were typically 2 things I had to do before getting on the horn with a rep. Time to call back.
Press 1 to open a new Trump Mobile account. Otherwise, press 2 for support with an existing Trump. Thank you for calling Trump Mobile.
Yeah, it seems like they took out the Spanish option.
To ensure the highest level of customer care, this call may be
they got rid of that one.
Thank you for calling Trump Mobile. My name is Jamie, and how may I assist you today?
Hey, I just had a couple of questions about my T1 device.
Okay.
I was told like a week ago I'd be getting an email about it being shipped out to me in the next day or two, but I haven't received that email. Is that still on schedule?
Yeah, we haven't got an updated date yet on exactly when they're going to be shipped. We're just told any day now that they're going to be going out. So all we're doing right now is just pretty much playing a waiting game for those emails to be shipped out because we don't even have a like ETA on the shipment or anything. Like we don't have a tracking number. So we're just told that they're going to go out individually to each person who has pre-ordered those. So yeah, it could be any day now. That's all I know.
Okay, no worries. I was looking on the website because I was getting a little concerned, so I checked out the terms and conditions. It said that the pre-order deposit only provides an opportunity if the phone gets released and doesn't actually like reserve specific inventory. So does my pre-order not hold a device for me?
Yeah, as far as I know, that's supposed to definitely hold your device for you. Like all I know is like we have a phone here in the office, so we know that the phones are being shipped out because we, ordered one here just so we can actually physically see it and play with it and everything like that. So what I know, everyone who has pre-ordered the T1, that holds a space for them to be the first ones to get the phones when they ship out.
Okay, and then about the device itself, on the terms it says that like everything that's been advertised about it is all just illustrative and might not represent the phone itself. The phone you have there, is it everything that's been advertised?
Yes, so what I was told that the phone did go through about 3 different models before they decided on one. So I believe maybe what you're seeing was before they decided on the actual model that they were going to stick with, which is the one now. If you go to trumpmobile.com, the one you see there, that's the one that we have. But I heard they did go through about 3 different models before they landed on this one.
Okay, that's awesome to hear then. Yeah, it's just reading through the terms was a little concerning because it keeps reiterating that the phone might not release and that it's not guaranteed to release, and then the pre-order thing just had me a little concerned. But like, it's definitely coming though, right? Like it is guaranteed.
Right. Yes, exactly. It's definitely coming. Yeah.
Okay, then I don't know why they would put that in there. That's scaring me.
Yeah, that's odd. Because I didn't even see that one. I don't know. We'll have to get a little bit more information on that just so we can have updates. But all I know is that so far, we're just waiting on those shipments to head out. And we do have one here, so I can confirm that, the phone is real and we got to play with it in person and everything. And so it's pretty real, and I'm just waiting on those to ship out for the ones who's pre-ordered it so they can go ahead and have theirs as well. But yeah, if you ever have any other concerns, then just reach out to us and then we'll just get it escalated up to our back-end team to look in more into it for us.
Awesome, I really appreciate that. I just had one other quick question because in the terms it also said that the pre-order doesn't price lock per se, but when I put the money down, it said it did. So do we have an idea on what the final price is? Because it was supposed to be $500, but reading through here, it said that could be subject to change, at least as I understand it. Is it still $500?
So the phones are, $499, and then of course you did the $100 deposit, and we don't charge the remaining $399 until the phone has shipped to you.
Okay,
so it is $499 with the $100 deposit, and then the remaining $399 will be charged once the phone actually releases and ships to you.
Okay, awesome. So it is locked in there for me.
Yes.
Perfect. That's great. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, it was a pleasure, and hopefully we'll get those phones to you very, very soon, and you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You as well. Take it easy.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, see, I had nothing to be worried about. The terms and conditions got me all riled up over nothing. Everything they say in here is apparently just like a multiversal possibility that maybe they don't deliver the phone, maybe it's not as advertised, maybe you're not price locked, but after talking to support, turns out I am price locked, it is coming, and I can't fucking wait. And it is reserved for me. So I'm going to get my T1 device any day now, which has become the slogan for Trump Mobile, any day, as it has been since August of 2025. Any day is coming, and I can't wait. That's really about it. Very cool. Very awesome. All right. That's it. See ya. When I review a movie, the typical process is this. I'll go see it. Immediately after finishing it, I come home all giddy, full cocked, ready to just spit out all of my thoughts. And like Rene Descartes said, I think, therefore I am going to review this movie. I do it immediately, so everything is all fresh in there. Everything that I cook up in this wrinkly sack between my ears. And I post it pretty much immediately, all within like 30 to 45 minutes of seeing a film. And yesterday I saw the Chainsaw Man movie and I really liked it, but I didn't post a review. And Stream picked up on this and started asking why, because it's pretty uncharacteristic. And the reason is because we actually have an official collaboration between our soap company Cheeky and Chainsaw Man. So this is available now. We have a Chainsaw Man movie-inspired line of new Cheeky scents. I was a big fan of Chainsaw Man, so this collaboration has been super hype. And like I said, I really, really liked the movie, so all of these scents are inspired by that and the characters. And with this partnership in mind, I was worried people would think by me reviewing this film that it would be biased or unreliable, and I'm only glazing it because we're working together with the property. But the more that I squatted and stewed on this, and from Stream Chat last night, I really just want to yap about the film. And I feel like over the course of the, 8-ish years that I've been reviewing movies and games, I think it should be pretty clear by this point that it doesn't really matter anything outside of like the actual product itself. Like I try not to take anything else into account when just, spitting up my thoughts on something. So even though we are officially partnered with Chainsaw Man, I'm still going to give you my very honest review of the movie. And I do that for everything. So like even if my dad made like a passion project film, if it's a pile of dog shit, I'm gonna let him know that is some stinky trash, Like it's just gonna be how it is. Now in the case of the Chainsaw Man movie, there is nothing stinky about it. This film was fucking extraordinary. And I said this last night, it has been an incredible year for 2D animated feature films. Pretty much back to back, we got Demon Slayer Infinity Castle and now the Chainsaw Man movie, which I think is right up there with it. I think this movie was so good. So let's go ahead and dive into the spaghetti and the meatballs here. So this is a whole arc condensed into a single movie. And I was a bit skeptical at first because I always thought when it came to something like this, you'd need multiple episodes to build up and care about a character that gets introduced. So that way it actually matters and feels meaningful when big things happen. But I have really come around on this arcs as movies direction that the industry seems to be going. I think Demon Slayer's done it really well, and now Chainsaw Man has proven they can do it really well. Reze is a character who gets introduced in this film and develops throughout this film, and by the end, you do care about the character. I think they do a really good job at setting that up. I think they hit the emotional beats very well. I also think this is a film you can see even without watching season 1 of Chainsaw Man and still understand what's going on. I wouldn't really recommend doing that because you miss out on so fucking much, but if you have a friend or a significant other or something that maybe wants to go see it with you, I think they can without being lost and they can still really enjoy it. And this film comes in two very different halves. The first half of this film is setting up Reze in this emotional arc as well as Denji and his conflicting feelings where he's in love with Makima. Makima has his heart, but Reze is someone that's showing like genuine romantic interest in him, which is something he's never experienced before. So now he's also falling for Reze. So it's this back and forth of like these feelings he shares for two different women. And it's, really weighing heavy on him. It's stressing him out. And he's going on dates with Reze, but thinking of Makima, but really liking the time he spends with Reze. So the first half is really building that up and getting you to care about Reze. And I think they do a good job. The first half is very much like a slow burn where it is a lot of slice of life going on. And it's really well done, like it's detailed. Slice of life is my least favorite genre in anime. But in here, and maybe it's because of the time constraints of a movie, they're able to do slice of life without having it feel like it drags on or overstays its welcome. It feels like every single slice of life moment is there to build up this relationship and get you sold on this character, Reze. And I do think there are some people that will find that boring. In the same way where Demon Slayer had a lot of flashbacks to tell a story that people apparently didn't like that much and kind of tuned out, I didn't have an issue with it, but a lot of people didn't like all the flashbacks. This movie doesn't have any of that. There's no flashbacks, but instead they do all of that, fleshing out of these characters in real time across the movie. So actually maybe people will find that more appealing. But I just do think that there's a chance in the first half of this film where it is very, mundane tasks that Denji goes on, like little dates with Makima and Reze, where people might find it to be uninteresting. But I think it's important to understand that without all of this character building and giving all of that time and attention to actually making people invested in the story and characters, all of the action and all of the beautiful mayhem in the second half would have felt a lot less meaningful. Action without a good story and good reason for it feels flat. And in this film, that is not the case at all, because they spent a lot of time and a lot of care building everything in the first half. So then the second half, it feels like an even bigger payoff watching it all unfold. Something else I feel people might bump on is if you're not super familiar with Denji as a character, maybe you would be put off by how, highly sexual he views things. So, when he's, conflicted on his feelings with Reze and Makima, he pictures them in, lingerie type thing, and he sees 2 sets of boobs, that kind of thing. Though I would say in the context of the story, there's a real reason for that. Denji is a guy who has experienced nothing but misery and agony his entire life, and now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's turned around for him where he is, having friendly interactions with people, which has never happened, and now women are actually showing interest in him, which he never even thought was possible in the first place. But it turns out that these women are actually just using him. He is very easily manipulated because of how little experience he's ever had in his life. So they use sexual shit as a way of controlling Denji and grooming him. So it does make sense in the context of the story, but I do think that some people might be put off by that. Anyway though, let's talk about the second half, because I think this is where everyone is going to be losing their fucking minds, throwing popcorn and how hype it was, because the entire second half of the film, the fights with Bomb Girl, are just incredible. Once Bomb Girl is introduced, once she comes into the fold, it is from that moment till the credits roll, fighting. She fights Aki, she fights fucking everybody, fucking civilians she starts throwing hands with. And Denji is teaming up with a shark fiend named Beam, and he rides the shark into battle with his chainsaw, wrapped around him, the chainsaw blade that is, wrapped around him. It's so fucking cool. And not only is Bomb Girl fighting everybody, but she actually has a tag team partner named Typhoon, who, from the name, you can probably guess, has the ability to basically controlling the weather in a typhoon, and it's just so chaotic and so fun. It's super, super hype. Also, big shout outs to the music choice here. I heard Maximum the Hormone come on during one of the fight sequences, and that was a joy. I have not heard Maximum the Hormone in, good lord, who knows how long. But when Maximum the Hormone track started playing, my god, it was time to lock in. That's what Dankin said as well on stream. It really is super hype. The entire second half action is breathtaking. It is so, so good. I will say though, when Chainsaw Man is directly fighting Typhoon, actually in the mega mix deep in it, since Typhoon is just, flinging so much shit around, there's a lot happening visually. Chainsaw Man's riding Beam, this fucking giant shark in there, there's a lot happening. It can be a bit visually cluttered at times, but I don't think it ever reaches a point where you don't know what's happening and you can't see the action. I think it does a really good job of keeping everything digestible, where you can easily tell what is going on. I just think when it gets to the Typhoon, towards the end of Typhoon fight there is so much that happens that it does get a little muddy, but never to a point where it was what the fuck is happening? I just wanted to mention that there is a bit of clutter there with Typhoon in particular towards the final section there of him fighting Typhoon. But overall, I think this movie was great. I really, really liked it. And hopefully you don't think that this is just a biased perspective on it because of our partnership. I am very excited by the Cheeky Chainsaw Man collaboration. Like I mentioned, it's out now. All of the soap smells amazing, and I'm very excited, very happy to be working with them. But that plays no role in my thoughts on this movie. If this partnership didn't exist with Cheeky and Chainsaw Man, I would still have the exact same feelings on this film. So, yeah. Anyway, that's really about it. So, well, they did it. Roblox decided to double down on their decision to ban and threaten legal action against someone that was trying to keep their platform safer for children, a responsibility Roblox doesn't seem to want to do themselves, at least not in an efficient way. So the quick and dirty of it, if you don't know the lore, I'll give you the nutshell breakdown here. I made a video on it a couple days ago, but earlier this week, a YouTuber named Schlep just got permanently IP banned by Roblox HQ and threatened with legal action because he colored outside the lines here. He was a little naughty in the eyes of the Roblox corpo overlords, the fucking weasels in suits over there, those grease goblins. Apparently when Schlep was young, he was the victim of a bad actor on Roblox, and as he grew up, he wanted to do what he could to make the platform safer for children so they didn't have to experience what he did. And thus he started actively catching predators and has actually had a few of them even arrested. He is doing what he can to just try and make the platform safer. Roblox takes a huge issue with that. One of the big criticisms of Roblox that has existed for years is how poorly they handle predators on Roblox. They are very hands-off when it comes to safety. Basically, their philosophy boils down to the old Luigi method in Mario Party, where if you do nothing, maybe you'll win. But in this case, that is not happening. You see, their tactics here of basically just plugging their ears and closing their eyes and then wiping their ass with all of the reports that flood in, it's led to a massive issue with Roblox where there has been a very common occurrence of predators preying on kids through their platform. You've probably seen tons and tons of headlines about pedophiles through Roblox by this point. It's very clear that they are not efficient when it comes to handling this. So, the community has begun policing themselves, and Schlep was among those that were trying to do what they could to catch the predators and have them arrested, but it's not like they were going behind Roblox's back for it. Schlep was actively providing Roblox all of the evidence, all of the reports, even sending a physical binder to the Roblox headquarters, and still they sat on their hands, put their thumb up their ass, and spun around on it or something. I guess when the package arrived there, they must have treated it like the Unabomber was trying to reach them or something. Like, Schlep and all of these other predator catchers on Roblox are actively trying to go through the proper channels, so Roblox will be the ones to act on it, but they just haven't been. At least not enough, clearly, because there's still a huge problem on Roblox with this. So, Roblox shut him down and threatened legal action. That has led to a huge shitstorm for Roblox, rightfully so. This has made headlines across the globe here. A wacky new development is apparently Roblox Corporation's chief safety officer, Matthew Kaufman, just sold over $800,000 worth of company stock shortly after the platform issued a cease and desist to Schlep. Looking like a little panic over there at the HQ. That is seeming like there's some holes in the ship. You don't often see the chief safety officer cash out that much stock in the wake of a huge debate about the safety of the platform that he is supposed to be managing and operating efficiently. Sounds like he's a little worried that people are more alert to how poorly Roblox itself handles safety in general. Another thing that happened is a congressman is also now making a push for Roblox to do more to keep children safe on their platform. It's gotten so big Roblox couldn't ignore it any further, so they put out a statement clarifying and doubling down on their decision to fight back against the vigilante groups, which is mind-boggling, just straight up fucking reflaffitating that they thought that this was somehow like a W, like a PR win here. We are fighting back against the vigilante groups. And then crickets when it comes to pedophiles. Why aren't you fighting the pedophiles? Why are you laser focused with the fucking crosshairs on the vigilantes that are fighting the pedophiles? Like, this is a wild hill to die on. We are sharing more information about why it was necessary to remove vigilantes from Roblox and the ways in which we review and act on reports of abuse on Roblox. While seemingly well-intentioned, the vigilantes we've banned have taken action that are both unacceptable and create an unsafe environment for users. I just need to stop right here and just take a pause. Schlepp and other vigilantes catching predators is not making the game more unsafe than it currently is by just having those predators running rampant with no one to stop them because you are not efficiently stopping them. Like, this is a crazy stance to take. Similar to actual predators, they often impersonate minors, actively approached other users, then tried to lead them to other platforms to have sexually explicit conversations, which is against our terms of use. Accurate, timely reporting from our community is important. Reporting through the appropriate channels, including our custom-designed reporting tools, immediately and with as much specific information as possible is the best way to help us remove bad actors from Roblox. These reporting tools are designed to capture key metadata and details that cannot be captured from an email or screenshot and enable faster, more efficient reviews and more thorough reporting to law enforcement when warranted. I'm going to take another break here real quick. When does that go live? Because that's definitely not live right now. Like, what do you mean? Like, that is the biggest problem. Everything you're saying right there is an absolute gobbledygook. Like, that's just mumbo jumbo. You're just saying words that aren't real. That is the big problem. No matter how many times people are reporting these bad actors through your channels, there is no efficient, fast reviewing that leads to the person being, kicked off the platform. There's so many cases of predators who have literally been arrested that still actually have their Roblox accounts live. Like, what are you talking about? That is blatantly false. And that is the issue. You can say you have all these tools and that you take in all of these reviews, but there's nothing that really shows that. It doesn't seem like if that is the case, it's made any difference. Maybe you need to overhaul that, or maybe you need to beef it up or something. Maybe you should work with the vigilante groups instead of vilifying them because they're doing a better job at getting the predators captured and taken off the platform than your systems are. I don't know why you view the vigilantes as enemies. Again, I can understand in general why vigilantes could be a bad thing, like on a broad scale, but when the company isn't doing things to ensure the safety of the users, well, vigilantes are super necessary to step in to do it for them, to keep the platform safe, because you are just not doing your job. Like, it makes no sense to me that they would be so combative with someone like Schlepp, where they'd cease and desist, ban him, and then threaten legal action. You could work with him. Why don't you guide him through the proper channels? He is doing a good service by getting these predators arrested. It is something you are not doing enough of. We realize that no platform is perfect, but we prioritize trust and safety because it's core to what we do as a company. It doesn't really seem like you prioritize it, by the way. It seems like your CEO is prioritizing trying to turn it into a fucking dating site for 17 plus, which, again, by the way, is a really weird age where he's trying to pitch a 17 plus dating service to a company, Roblox, so it'd be half gaming and half dating. It seems like that's the focus, because Dave fucking Bazooki here, the CEO of Roblox, can't stop yapping about it. It doesn't seem like the priority is trust and safety. That's all I'm saying. This is an area where we invest heavily and are always innovating. Helping keep our users safe is a critical part of our vision of connecting 1 billion people with optimism and civility, and is a strategic imperative for our creator community. And then just a bunch of blabbering here, all of which it doesn't seem to be true. Again, I understand they can't wipe them all out instantly, but it's clear that reports are falling on deaf ears. Like, there are predators, real predators, with irrefutable evidence that Roblox is not acting on. So there is a problem here, and it doesn't seem like they're doing enough. Then they go on to talk about, just how many messages and how many users are on Roblox. Again, I understand there's millions and millions and a lot to go through, a lot to comb through. Which is why, again, I don't understand why they wouldn't be extending an olive branch to the vigilante groups who are clearly doing a good job at catching real predators that are on their platform. Roblox is missing them in a lot of cases. I don't know why they wouldn't want to work with them. Again, as they mention here, they've got fucking billions of messages that get across, billions of reports that swipe across their desk every day. Why wouldn't you work with the community that is actively trying to help you and help keep the platform safe? So now they talk about why they've decided to remove vigilantes. We have been monitoring vigilante activity on Roblox for some time. These groups began by reporting safety concerns, commenting on news about Roblox, and challenging us to do better. We appreciate this feedback and use these reports to improve our safety systems. More recently, vigilante activity evolved. Instead of just reporting on safety issues, vigilantes started impersonating children and actively sought to connect with adult users. Those conversations mimicked inappropriate behavior and actively encouraged other users to connect on other social media and messaging platforms, thus bypassing Roblox's own safety systems. These were not one-off situations, and we saw the behavior accelerating across many accounts. This actively created an unsafe environment and normalized behavior that is both unacceptable on Roblox and is against our terms of use. Our policies prohibit directing other users off Roblox to another platform through chat and having/simulating sexually explicit conversations. These are serious policy violations that risk removal from the platform. Just reread your statement here, Roblox. You recognize that these groups were reporting all of this to you. And then you're confused on why they started doing more than just reporting. Could it possibly be because all of the reports they were sending your way for so long weren't leading to the predators getting kicked off the platform or anything? Could that possibly be the reason? Could you follow that trail of breadcrumbs of logic? Like, I don't know how they can be so delusional to not recognize the reason why it evolved beyond just reporting and then they started using like decoys to try and get more evidence is because you weren't acting on the reports. Thus, they gathered more evidence on these bad actors and turned it over to authorities who did act on it. The evidence was sufficient for the police to issue arrests and get the predators. But it wasn't enough for you guys to ban them or do anything like the bare minimum to protect children from these bad actors, these evil people. Like, I don't know why they're confused. They're making it sound like it's some kind of epidemic that spiraled out of control and Roblox was just doing everything by the book perfectly, when that's just not the case. The reason why it evolved so much is because you weren't doing enough. So the community started taking it upon themselves to try and act and do better and ensure the platform was a little safer for whatever they could do. They then have this section on the importance of accurate reporting, going over like they needs to act in accordance with their policies and all of that, and then due to privacy considerations, we cannot inform users whether reports have led to consequences. But the thing about that claim is, to me it seems like they're trying to hide behind their numbers. Like, we get so many reports and we just can't inform you if like your report led to that person getting banned, but just trust us, it probably did. Like, we're actually like, we're doing such a good job at getting them all banned. But the thing is, people aren't that fucking stupid. When you have found a bad actor, if you have found a predator and you're reporting that person, a lot of these people are following those accounts to ensure that they get banned because they are a danger to the community. And in a lot of cases, they're not getting banned. Like, they know that there hasn't been consequences. Whether or not Roblox is telling them, people can see for themselves when the accounts aren't banned. They then talk about how they actually go above and beyond. They work with law enforcement, following official legal guidelines around when it's appropriate to collaborate with them and provide information to help track bad actors across platforms to help keep users safe even beyond Roblox. In 2024, they submitted 24,522 reports to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They then say that on multiple occasions they found vigilante groups holding the reports to Roblox until after they had coordinated real-life meetups and built their own social media posts, and then explain why that's a bad thing, about how waiting to report to Roblox or the relevant authorities means alleged bad actors could potentially remain on the platform longer, leaving the community open to additional risks of harm. And they close out this section by saying that they recognize the community's frustration with how they handle violative behavior outside of Roblox, but they can't always act on all of it because a lot of it's screenshots and other messaging applications that need to be independently confirmed, because without verification it would open up significant abuse and misuse and all of that, so they have to do their due diligence. Overall, this is them saying that they actually take the reports very seriously and that they actually do a lot to try and keep Roblox safe, even beyond Roblox. They then also claim that some of the vigilante groups are like making social media posts about all of these bad actors before even reporting to Roblox. Of course, I don't know if that's all true or not. Very well could be. But the point still stands. There are a lot of bad actors on Roblox, even with all of the reports they act on and the ones that they report to the proper authorities. There is still a huge infestation of these evil people. And the vigilante groups, the ones that Roblox is fighting tooth and nail against, whether they like it or not, they are making a difference in making the platform safer. Roblox can submit all of these reports and do as much as they can, but as they showcase, they get so many and they can't go through all of them. They can't thoroughly investigate every single one. They can't analyze every single screenshot from every off-platform message. They know that. They do even hint at that. But these vigilante groups, in a lot of cases, do go the extra mile for a lot of these individuals, and it leads to them getting arrested and away from children. It takes the predator away from victims. It makes the platform safer. It's not something Roblox should be battling against so vehemently. I really just don't understand why they don't try and work more collaboratively with people like Schlepp or Gideon, who are actively getting these predators arrested. That's the big problem. Roblox isn't doing enough to keep children safe, and instead of trying to find more ways of keeping predators away from children, instead they're trying to legally strong-arm vigilantes into silence and just leaving it all alone and letting Roblox handle it. Put their trust in Roblox, a platform that has repeatedly let down so many people when it comes to getting these bad actors taken off the platform and away from victims. It is a problem that Roblox has done nothing to help with this statement here. This doubling down about this being some kind of righteous fight against vigilantes is just so off the mark, it's crazy. They then spend a paragraph giving you a tutorial on how to report users, which is just completely useless. It's like giving you a tutorial on how to get ice cream at McDonald's. The fucking machines are broken. It's useless. You can report people till the cows come home. It's not working. That is the issue. They then talk about their Trusted Flagger program, where close and trusted partners can report serious criminal activity such as terrorism, violent extremism, or child exploitation directly to Roblox. And the idea is that the Trusted Flaggers are someone that Roblox puts a lot of weight on with their reports. But the Trusted Flagger program, while it sounds good in theory, is actually highly neglected. And from what I've read from a bunch of people with this program in particular, it doesn't do anything more than just a normal report. It doesn't seem like they actually take into consideration the trusted flag more than the normal report. Overall, I found this response from Roblox to be horrible. The doubling down was just a terrible call here. And it almost reads like Roblox is more upset that people are aware of the predator problem as opposed to the predator problem existing in the first place. It seems like Roblox would rather people just be completely ignorant to it, just silence on it, while it's still being in the background. It doesn't seem like they care so much that the predators exist, they just care that people are talking about the predators existing now. Their priorities are just so out of whack. Threatening legal action against someone who was victimized on your game and is just trying to do what they can to make it better, and just a blanket removing all vigilantes type approach to things here is just nonsensical, because the community is in a position where it needs those vigilante groups because Roblox hasn't done enough to protect them. It's crazy to me. Anyway, I just wanted to give you the follow-up to all this. That's really about it. See ya. Yep, much to the chagrin of a lot of people in power, the conversation around Jeffrey Epstein doesn't seem to be fizzling out anytime soon, which is great. Hopefully, it will keep this steam and will never peter out, because it is of the utmost importance that this gets corrected, that they stop trying to perpetuate these lies that they're attempting to shove down the American public's throat about Jeffrey Epstein not having a list, not indulging in blackmail, and then trying to drop what has now been revealed as modified footage of Jeffrey Epstein's cell area to prove that he took his own life and no one came in there. There was no fishy business. The Baba Yaga didn't pay him a visit or anything. And they try and proclaim that that footage was the raw, real deal, organic sourced footage here. But what we're talking about today, it turns out that was once again another fucking lie. CoffeeZilla just made a video talking about it as well, so I'm going to play a few clips from that because he is significantly more intelligent than I am. And buckle your seatbelt because it is a wild ride.
The raw Epstein footage was modified according to its metadata, despite Dan Bongino previously saying that they would release the original footage so you wouldn't think there were shenanigans.
There's video. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans.
Well, unfortunately, that's not what we got.
To briefly explain for those that don't know, when the DOJ and FBI came out and said that Epstein did not have a list, did not indulge in blackmail, and did in fact commit suicide, they then dropped some footage that was supposed to corroborate that there really was no one else that entered his area and killed him or anything. So they dropped a lot of footage. And it's supposed to be the raw feed of it. Turns out that doesn't seem to be the case. It was very likely modified, and you're about to see the metadata that indicates that it most likely was, as well as a forensic expert that weighs in that also thinks that it was not done properly here.
And basically they pulled the metadata and showed that the footage appears to be assembled from at least 2 source clips, saved multiple times, exported, and then uploaded to the DOJ's website, where it was presented as raw footage which technically it is not. Now, I pulled the EXIF data myself. This is what it looks like. You can see that there's these ingredients file path here where you can see 4 different files. 2 of them are just identical. So 2 unique files here that have been basically stitched together is the most charitable interpretation.
So they went into Adobe Premiere and edited the footage, saving it multiple times. I cannot believe that they would even leave the metadata intact. You would think that these 3-letter organizations would be better at hiding their dirty work. Now, maybe if they were using the superior editing program, Sony Vegas, they would have been able to, get away with it more effectively, because Sony Vegas probably doesn't even have metadata. It's so fucking archaic. But they went into Adobe Premiere, spliced this together, and then sent it as raw when it is not raw. It is edited. That is, legitimately, by all possible definitions, a lie. Even though Bongino said, no, you're going to get the raw, so there's no shenanigans. But all we get is shenanigans.
Yes, maybe you didn't do anything with it, but it kind of ruins the whole chain of evidence. Wired actually quotes a professor of UC Berkeley whose research focuses on digital forensics. He has testified in numerous court cases, and he says, if a lawyer brought me this file and asks if it was suitable for court, I'd say no. Go back to the source. Do it right. Do a direct export from the original system. No monkey business.
It's actually scary just how blatant this corruption is. For years, they have talked about the Epstein list and the blackmail. It is something that everybody knows exists. There is endless amounts of evidence to suggest its legitimacy. Yet now, all of a sudden, they're like, nah, it's not real. No, that's just fictitious. That's like fucking Santa Claus's list right there. That's not real. No naughty and nice list. No Jeffrey Epstein list. There's no such thing. Jeffrey Epstein's not even a real person. That's just a made-up fairy tale. They haven't gone that far with that claim, but like I said last time, I feel like we're not far off from them just trying to deny Jeffrey Epstein ever even existed, trying to scrub him from the history books here. But they are actively just not even trying to make this believable. They are so confident that they will not be held accountable that they don't even bother to do even the slightest amount of elbow grease to convince anyone to believe them. And they're right, nothing's happening to them. They are covering up for one of the biggest pedophiles in history that implicates some of the most powerful people across the globe. And they are sweeping it under the rug. There have been no arrests made, and it doesn't seem like they're pursuing it at all. Caroline even just recently said that they're not, releasing anything in regards to it because of, how graphic and gross all of it is.
What do you tell MAGA supporters who say they want anyone involved in Jeffrey Epstein's alleged crimes to be held accountable?
This administration wants anyone who has ever committed a crime to be held accountable, and they put out a memo in conclusion of that review. There was material they did not release because, frankly, it was incredibly graphic and it contained child pornography, which is not something that's appropriate for public consumption. But they committed to an exhaustive investigation. That's what they did, and they provided the results of that. That's transparency.
Oh, they provided the results of that? How many people went to jail, Caroline? I must have missed that update. Were there a lot of bad guys that got locked up here? Oh man, that's huge. I feel like more people should know that. Can you share who all got arrested from all of the Epstein investigations? This vile worm tries to say that nothing's going to get released, and I guess nothing's going to happen to anyone that was incriminated here, because a lot of it was not fit for public consumption. Fucking weirdo, no one's asking you to, share the videos or anything like that. But you are saying that you have this evidence, and you're doing nothing with it. And we know there is a list of clients and a lot of people that engaged with it. Fucking arrest them! What the public deserves is that you will follow through with your duty of arresting these evil people that you have unbelievable amounts of evidence on. Which is not happening. This is the furthest thing from transparency, unless she's trying to argue that this cover-up is so blatant, obvious, and terrible that everyone can see through it, so you can immediately know how guilty some of the most powerful people are. Then I guess that makes sense, because this is such a poorly done attempt at burying this that everyone can see through it. Is that the point she was trying to make? Perhaps, I guess. Every step of the way here, they are lying and trying to cover up everything related to Jeffrey Epstein, including this footage that was supposed to be raw footage.
The video aspect ratio suddenly shifts as the tape changes over, or whatever they claim. You can see that right here. There's like a sudden shift in the video. I have not changed this video in any way. I have it in the Premiere Pro timeline, which I guess they had as well. So this is as intended. So there's this just weird shifts in the footage. I mean, this was done in actually a very sloppy way after they explicitly talked about needing to do it in the right way so the American public could rely on it.
Now, as CoffeeZilla says, it could be all just incompetence, like actually just fucking troglodytes here in charge of all of this. So even though they called attention to needing to do it the right way, they're just so fucking brain dead, like actual lobotomites, and just couldn't even do it the right way, so then they just farted this out. Like, it could be, like, no manipulation here, like, this is just how it's done, like, for some reason it dumps a minute, like, as it's switching over, and they had to put it into editing software and fuck up the aspect ratio. I guess it could be incompetence, but I would not be that charitable with this. They are doing so much lying. Again, we already know about the list existing, and we know about the blackmail. That is all real stuff, and now they're denying it. And now they're doing this modifying of footage while trying to fight back against the conspiracy that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. It's just insanity. They are so confident that the public will do nothing about it. They'll get upset, but they'll just swallow it and be done with it and move on. And some people are, but I'm happy that most aren't. They are desperately doing everything in their power to try and bury this whole conversation about Jeffrey Epstein. Like a couple days ago where Trump interrupted a question about it in order to try and shift to something else. Like, are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein, that creep? How can you be talking about him when there's floods going on in Texas? It's such a bad look.
Why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the latest set?
Yeah, sure. If
Hey, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas.
Yeah, people are still talking about Epstein. It's one of the biggest, most in-your-face cover-ups most people have ever seen. This is one of the biggest pedophiles in history that implicates so many extremely powerful people. Yeah, people are still talking about it, understandably, because the people deserve answers, and there needs to be justice for all of the people that engaged in this. This desperation from those in power to move on from the Jeffrey Epstein conversation is extremely scary, and they are doing it with reckless abandon, feeling completely immune to consequences for all of this. And so far, they're right. Like, there's not anything that's coming from it. There's still no arrest being made. There's still no new information coming out. The only information we get is more information about how they are lying, like modifying the footage and shit. It's craziness. I just wanted to give you a little update here with everything that's unfolding in the Jeffrey Epstein case. And, yeah, that's really about it. So, yeah. There are certain subjects I make a lot of content covering. There are just a handful of topics that always wiggle their way underneath my skin and grease my cheeks, and I can't fight the urge to yap about them, like a dog chasing a mailman just going around barking at it. And one of them, one of the biggest, is people using Christianity as a means to exploit and abuse others. Corrupt pastors that are using the faith as a tool for their own self-gain and self-interest. I find it to be vile, evil, and unforgivable. So over the years, I've made tons of videos covering these instances. And just a couple days ago, I made that video going over Robert Morris. This demon was the former spiritual advisor to Donald Trump. He was also a Texas megachurch turbo pastor who recently pled guilty to molesting a 12-year-old girl numerous times. and he only got 6 months in jail for this. He is now out of jail and will be serving the next 9.5 years on probation in his luxury property. Now, maybe you can call me short and ugly, but I gotta tell you, I'll be honest with you, sports fans, that doesn't sound like justice to me. That doesn't sound like punishment that fits the crime of molesting a 12-year-old girl numerous times. I feel like that should have been life in prison. But he got 6 months. I already blabbered about that out the wazoo, and I'm not here to just do it again. I wanted to do something a little different, because Robert Morris was Trump's former spiritual advisor. I want to show you his current spiritual advisor, because I truly think this administration is normalizing the epidemic of fake Christians that are just using the faith as a tool for their own enrichment. I believe it is full-blown, fucking full frontal, dangling right in your face, obvious blasphemy. It's not subtle, it's unapologetic. I mean, Jiminy Christmas, Trump was hawking and is still actively hawking Trump Bibles. Expensive Bibles for like 60 clams with Trump's name on them and numerous variants of it. They range in price from $60 up to $1,000, and also a little fun tiddlywink of lore here, they're printed in China. So they're made for less than $3 per Bible, yet he jacks the price up to $60 for the lowest plebeian edition of his Bible. But it goes all the way up to $1,000 for the one that has Trump's signature on the inside cover. Like, I just don't know how that's defensible from any real Christians. That is just completely unacceptable. These frauds worship Trump more than God. It's like textbook idolatry with the way they talk about and discuss Trump. Like, Nicki Minaj is a great example. She's a wonderful case study for this. She spent a significant amount of time squatting on top of the orb of confusion and debasing herself publicly, slurping for this administration, and eventually got in their good graces and received a Donald Trump signed Holy Bible, calling it one of the most meaningful gifts she's ever received. Which is ridiculous, because Nicki Minaj has been very vocal about her faith in recent time. And I feel like anyone who is legitimately very proud of their faith as a Christian would receive a gift like that and be disgusted. There are some Bibles that get signed by like a pastor or someone who is genuinely in the faith and an active community member in Christianity in the local churches. That is something that I am very familiar with. That was something that I had seen when I was going to church, but they weren't sold. They were given to members of the congregation, and it was always just like, enjoy your Bible, or like, I hope I hope this resonates with you, and then signed by the pastor. This is Donald Trump planting his fucking name on top of the Holy Bible, literally going through the word Bible with his signature, making it seem as though he's the most important part of this gift, not the Bible itself. And yet Nicki Minaj is like, oh my god, it's amazing. Nicki Minaj, by the way, whose husband is a registered sex offender, and her older brother is in the slammer serving 25 to life for sexually assaulting an 11-year-old child. Now, I'm not here just to talk about the Trump Bible. Like I said, I want to focus on his current spiritual advisor, Paula White, because I think she is the perfect example of this phenomenon and is serving to normalize this practice.
Wherever I go, God rules. When I walk on White House grounds, God walks on White House grounds. I had every right and authority to declare the White House as holy ground because I was standing there, and where I stand is holy.
To say no to President Trump would be saying no to God. And I won't do that.
This is a montage that kind of blew up a few months ago. A lot of people have seen this, and it shows some of Paula White Kane's more recent highlights about how she can declare the White House as holy ground because she walked there and God walks with her. And also, she proudly proclaims that saying no to Trump would be like saying no to God, and she's never going to do that. I had the longer section saved, but now that video's taken down, so I can't show you the whole context of that statement, but from what I recall, she was talking about how Trump has basically been chosen by God, so when Trump asked her, to come aboard, saying no to Trump in that position would have been like saying no to God, which she refuses to do. That is an outrageous thing to say. That is genuinely, by all possible definitions and interpretations, blasphemous. To say that kind of statement about saying no to a man is like saying no to God, you are putting that person on this pedestal that they are equal to God. That is like a big no-no in the faith. It's fucking unhinged. And yet, nobody calls her out on that in the administration. All of these supposed Christians have no problem with her saying things like that and acting this way. It's baffling. Well, it's actually not baffling when you stop to realize that none of them actually care about Christianity. They are using it. To them, it is nothing more than a tool to be utilized to get people latched onto their bosom. Because if they can convince people that what they're doing is righteous and chosen by God, then people would be afraid to go against it, thinking that they have to fall in line, otherwise they've deviated from the path of the Lord. That's their whole tactic. That is the playbook that they're using. It is sickening. And it's working for them. It's working extremely well for them. Like just yesterday, Paula White had this to say about President Trump and his experience and how similar it is to our Lord and Savior.
But the truth of it is you are here because of God and because of you. And I just wanted to share this thought and then pray over President Trump. Jesus taught us so many lessons through his death, burial, and resurrection. He showed us great leadership. Great transformation requires great sacrifice. And Mr. President, no one has paid the price like you have paid the price. It almost cost you your life. You were betrayed and arrested and falsely accused. It's a familiar pattern that our Lord and Savior showed us. But it didn't end there for him, and it didn't end there for you. God always had a plan. On the third day, he rose, he defeated evil, he conquered death, hell, and the grave. And because he rose, we all know that we can rise. And sir, because of his resurrection, you rose up. Because he was victorious, you were victorious. And I believe that the Lord said to tell you this. Because of his victory, you will be victorious in all you put your hand to.
Comparing Trump's journey to that of Jesus Christ. Wow. Powerful stuff, Paula. You know, when you put it that way, and I really stopped to marinate and stew, giving it a lot of thought, I actually think that my life's journey is pretty similar to that of Master Chief's. Huh. Isn't that some shit? Now, I know I've mentioned this a couple times in the past when covering people like Paula. I am not as spiritual as I used to be. Growing up, I was very, very religious. As I said, I got baptized twice because I was concerned that God may have been AFK for the first one, and I wanted to make sure that, he had front row seats and popcorn ready for the second one, just in case. So I came in there with the round 2 for the Jumbotron. It was a huge part of my life. And even though I'm not as spiritual now as I was then, I still care deeply for it. And seeing that this is becoming so common now is just gross. It's so fucking abhorrent. Paula White Cain is a televangelist demon. Her whole career is built off of begging for money from her followers, and she still actively does that while being the spiritual advisor to Donald Trump. In fact, her 2026 Unleashed conference, she had this wonderful moment.
Because I'm telling you, there's an anointing of release right now. I want $100,000 to come in. I want $100,000. There are 10 people that could give $10,000. There's 100 people that could give $1,000.
How selfless, how noble. She wants $100,000. Fork it over. Cough it up, guys. Where's the $100,000? I know I said that she begs for money, but it's actually more accurate to say that she demands money. And she tries to present it as though if you don't give money to her, you are doing a disservice in the eyes of the Lord. This is a common tactic used by televangelists that have done this for many, many moons now, but very few of them have the same kind of power and influence that Paula White Cain does. One notable person that I'm sure a lot of you have heard of, and someone that I've made a couple videos on, is Kenneth Copeland. He is the guy who's very open about how important it is that he has his private jet. So keep giving him money. He's the pastor and the Lord needs him to have a private jet, so give him money. Paula White Cain is cut from that same cloth. She is still actively doing this and demanding money from people in her church, and it is just disgusting.
Get a check, make it payable to Paula White Ministry. There are people that are watching right now. If you say, I don't have it, give $100. Bring up a sacrificial seed. This isn't for me. This is about kids that will die without you being obedient. This is about kids who are going to be minstrels and instruments and warriors and mighty for God. This is about kids who are going to make a difference. I'm not going to take everybody's blessing. Come on. I'm going to tell you, get a seed of sacrifice. There's only 3 envelopes. I'm not moving. I'm not going to lay hands on people till you're obedient. Get out of your seat. Come on and come bring up a seed. Because I'm telling you, there's an anointing of release right now. I want $100,000.
She says verbatim that there are kids that will die without you being obedient and giving her money. Oh no, the money is not about me. It's about these kids. We need the $100,000 now. If you can't afford that, the $1,000, then give $100. You gotta give something. If you don't give something, you're a bad person for it. You don't want to be a bad person, do you? Well, come give Paula White Kane some money. It is something that she has done her whole life.
And I believe that when you honor God on Passover, starting on April 12th at sundown, through Good Friday on the 18th and concluding on Easter Sunday, you can receive these 7 supernatural blessings for you and your house. According to Exodus 23, God will assign an angel to you. He'll be an enemy to your enemies. He'll give you prosperity. He'll take sickness away from you. He will give you long life. He'll bring increase in inheritance, and he'll give a special year of blessing. You're not doing this to get something, but you're doing it in honor to God, realizing what you can receive.
For your special Passover offering of $1,000 or more as the Holy Spirit leads, you will also receive the beautiful 10-inch Waterford Crystal Cross. Don't miss your moment to release 7 supernatural blessings and provision into your life.
That's right, you heard it here first. God can take your sickness away, but only if you send $1,000 to Paula White Kane first. Paula will get God on the horn and ensure that you receive these 7 blessings, but it's going to require $1,000, which is chump change compared to what you'll receive for it. It's transactional, so donate $1,000 to Paula White and receive these 7 blessings to save your life and increase your life, and also get this specialty cross. I'm confident that the people that followed Paula and Trump, and when they talk about how he's like Jesus and saying no to Trump is like saying no to God, I'm very certain these individuals have never read the Bible at all. Probably have never opened the Bible, and they just bite on to their words and accept them as truth, and that Paula and Trump are infallible because they are chosen by God. But if you ever decide to actually read the Bible yourself, you're going to see a lot of what they are demonstrating is directly frowned upon in the Bible. Most notably, Matthew 21:12. This gets brought up a lot in regards to frauds like Paula. This is when Jesus enters the temple and drives out all those who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the benches of those selling doves. He declared to them, "It is written, my house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers." And depending on the versions, it changes a little bit, but the message is always the same. Jesus throws out those who use his temple as a means of profiting off of others instead of a house of worship. That is exactly what Paula and many others in this administration explicitly do, blatantly. It is corrupt, it is completely unacceptable, and unfortunately is being normalized, and it shouldn't be. So I really wanted to yap about Paula here, and yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.